Excuse me while I whip this out.
Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Wait. I've got an idea.
Nerdrotic.com.
Yeah, we're all tired as hell, so let's pretend to be awake and chirpy and chippy. Show must go on, folks. Show must go on. Welcome to the Nerdrotic Nooner. My name is Gary Beekler. I come to you from Nerdrotic.com, and I am here with Chris Gore. What's up, Chris?
I'm exhausted. I think we all had late nights. It's weird. I know X-Ray Girl was out clubbing. That's pretty much every time she was exhausted. She was out clubbing too late. You know, she's going to end up on that whatever podcast at some point. I'm pretty sure.
Oh my God.
But,
no.
Whatever.
Yeah, exactly. But no, yeah, late night, but good times on Sunday. I appreciate it. Cannot thank you enough. And Chato and everyone who came by the Film Threat Oscars live watch party. Dude, it was great. It was great also hearing everyone say, I only saw 2 of the Oscar nominated movies for Best Picture. So, I mean,
I saw 3 of them. I saw 3. That's like a record.
You were higher than average.
Yeah.
You know,
I hated one of them. So,
yeah. Well, it just shows you how disconnected, you know, the Oscars is, or just the entertainment community is from just people who are fans of movies and mainstream moviegoers. And just, I feel like a lot of times they're just doing the show for the people in the room. That's it.
Yeah.
But it does seem like there was some effort to dial back, you know, the lecturing. There was definitely seemed like there were just fewer of those types of speeches. Fewer of that. So whatever.
Yeah, till the end. And there was a bad January 6th joke.
Yeah.
But yeah. Well, that's what happens when you bring back Jimmy Kimmel, who we haven't confirmed whether he's gone to Epstein Island or not. He certainly doesn't want that list to come out. I find that sus, as the kids say. Exactly. But yeah, there's actually a lot to talk about, including. Well, let's get X-Ray Girl introduced. Hang on. Hello, X-Ray Girl.
Hello. I can see the chat. I see you in the chat using the new emojis that I've been working on last night. So please throw them up if you see some new ones.
Did Film Threat hit 69,000?
Oh my God.
We did 69,000.
69.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thank you. 100,000 is overrated. 69,000 is
69 is where it's at.
That's right. You'll get your 69 plaque from YouTube. Jack Murphy going.
Exactly.
The Jack Murphy special.
Ryan, for 50 British pounds, congrats, by the way. The Mandalorian is now the Grogu show. It's a gimmick designed for tepid-brained TikTokers who love buying stuffed animals and giggle when Grogu winks at the screen. The writing is submental, insulting, and gross. I will tell you, I just finished watching. I'm 3/4 of the way through the third episode, but I did trudge through. Episodes. The second episode after R5D4 showed up, and I thought that was stupid. And it's okay, Chris. It's got a great line like this. Remember when in episode 2, the Mandalorians with little baby Yoda who can't understand a damn word he's saying?
Yeah.
And he goes, and I'm paraphrasing because I don't remember the line perfectly, but it's Mandalorians need to know maps and their way around. That way they won't get lost.
It's so dumb.
That's a line in the fucking show.
That's so insightful.
It's so funny, Gary. You and I must be in sync because I'm also 3/4 of the way through the third episode, which the middle boring part it didn't bother me. It was just like, because the Mandalorian stuff has gotten so cliche, like that opening sort of TIE fighter battle, whatever. It felt like the dialogue was written with AI. Watch your back, do this, blah, blah, blah. Oh,
no, I love when they get hit by a laser bolt and they go, "We've been hit."
Yeah, I know. It's all this quippy dialogue that, like, you know, was fresh and new and exciting because we thought there were stakes in the original Star Wars. And now it just, I don't know. We're experiencing Marvel burnout for sure. And by the way, congratulations on that new video that dropped yesterday. I had to dip out of the Real BBC. Or was it it was you and Az. I just watched whatever.
It was me and Az and Mahler. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I had to dip out to watch your video because I was like, I have to see it right now. You
Thanks,
dropped
brother.
it in the middle of the show.
I mean, we drop them when they're done.
Right.
I usually don't like to do them while I'm on a stream.
Right.
But thank you. You've gotten a lot of good feedback. Do have to point out, though, for all you content creators and the world, don't panic. But Senator Mark Kelly from Arizona yesterday was caught saying the quiet part out loud. Can we censor social media to keep there from being a run on the bank? Right. And there is absolutely a clamp down on YouTube right now. Like, the hammer is down, and it's looking a lot like remember election season 2020?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's looking a lot like that.
Oh,
You can
Wow.
I play a lot of things by my gut. I watch YouTube a lot. I know what's going on a lot. And I felt we felt a shift during the monetization of TikTok change, and there was definitely a shift. But it's like, when they change something about the algorithm, it usually takes 2 or 3 months for it to work itself out. So I'm not, I don't freak out about that. But this was like, whoa, what? So how long it lasts, I don't know, but it's real. It's absolutely real. They put the hammer down, and they got busted saying the quiet part out loud.
Yeah, it's almost as if they're trying to influence behavior.
Yep. And thanks to Elon, we all suspected this. We all knew it. But thanks to Elon, we found one platform that's absolutely doing it. So now we know all the other ones are doing it, but worse. So it's happening, but ain't gonna stop me. Ain't gonna stop me, baby. If I could survive a guy whipping his junk out on a fucking stream.
Oh, yes. By the way, I was watching Tuesday night's main event. Really enjoying that show. There was footage of Gavin McInnes just speaking positively about his experience on FNT. Have you seen it yet? Have you seen it? Have you heard it?
Yeah, I saw it.
I thought it was cool. He was definitely busting your guys' balls. He was trolling everybody. It's like that's typical Gavin McInnes behavior. It's kind of why I've always enjoyed him over the years. He just reminds me of guys I used to hang out with. They've all left California. But anyways, but like, no, it was cool. It was cool. He sort of like gave up, like, he basically conceded that everyone on FNT has a point and that maybe he should consider listening. That's at least what I got. He didn't say it explicitly, but You should feel vindicated.
The thing is, I mean, I've been watching Gavin for years, so I know he's a troll. I know what he does. I know he's capable. I was thinking maybe we get some butt crack. You know, Alex took his shirt off, so there's something about guests like getting naked on our show, I guess. But people forget that. Alex
no, it's just the nerd vibe.
Great, yeah. So that's why I like. Everybody stood their ground. Great. Jeremy was great. Ryan was great. Shad was great. Az would have lost his mind. And I called him out, but I also let him speak. I had no problem with the conversation. I think it's good to have it. Just whipping out your wiener on a live show is can't have that. I can't have that. Okay. And Ryan made the great point. It's really hard to call things childish and to call out, you know, child drag shows when you're whipping your wiener out. So
exactly.
And you know, I take life one day at a time. And as the analogy I said before was, it's like almost being in a car accident and you find out there's not a scratch on your car. It's like you're gonna get out and yell at the guy, or I'm just gonna keep going. I'm gonna keep going. I don't care. Like, whatever.
I was worried. I was serious because I saw it live, obviously, and then you went on for maybe a little less than an hour and ended the stream, privated. Like, I mean, it's on Rumble, which is great. But then I messaged you after. I was just like, I thought it was a great conversation because it was someone challenging these ideas in a way that forced everyone to kind of step up their game. And Jeremy did a great job. I mean, everybody did, but it was really good to see people stand their ground and say, this is important. This matters. This affects kids. You know, this is, you know, this is entertainment that influences. It's important. And I appreciated it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And there was a comedian I saw last night that addressed his criticism and told the audience, hey, my haters are going to come out. My haters are the best thing for me because they make me think, and I want you to listen to them. And if my positions stand after you listen to them, then I'm okay. I'm not going to be right about everything, but I'm okay. So it's good to get a little pushback on your position just to show that, you know, this is who I am unapologetically. And you either recognize it or you don't. It's up to you. But if you want to win hearts and minds, you can't just shit on everybody's individuality, what they're into. And we're all about individuality, even when it comes to, you know, trans and LGBTQ plus. It's not about the individual. It's about these political groups that have been turned into voting blocks, and it's the uniparty setting us all against each other and fighting so they can go F off and you know, kill banks and shit. So like that's kind of what we're trying to do. I'm not about a side winning. I'm about coming together. I'm not about the national divorce. I'm not about fucking civil war or black pills or any of that shit. No. But last night was crazy. So that comedian I was speaking of.
Yes.
So I went to Joe Rogan last night. He has his own club. He's been building it for 2 years. I know this because the GM of the club watches Nerdrotic and Friday Night Tights. He came up for the show, yeah, which was like mind-blowing, totally mind-blowing. But, you know, it was Melissa's birthday palooza. I'm like, hey, let's go to Austin, but let's see Joe Rogan open this comedy club. And he said, I heard him say I thought it was going to be a couple of opening acts in Joe, right? That was my expectation. The events, there's 8 shows that sold out in an hour, so I had to StubHub the tickets for some stupid price, and I am so glad I paid it now. At first I was like, I don't know if I like this very much, but Austin's a shithole. Sorry, my fellow Texans, I love you, I love your freedom, but Austin is San Francisco Jr. It was terrible. It's freaking homeless people everywhere, and
cities, all that stuff.
And this is South by Southwest when they've cleared them out. That was their cleared them out. And by the way, Southwest sparse. I thought that it would just be packed every day. Like it was sparse. Like there was not many people there. Comic-Con has way bigger numbers.
Right. Well, bigger numbers. I'll say Wednesday during South by is like this hump day where all the film people leave and then all the music people come in. So yeah, that is sort of the deadest day. Is that yeah, Alan Ng was just there. So, but he was basically lived in a movie theater for 4 days. So I'm anxious to talk to him. But dude,
Oh.
what's the name of his comedy club? I'm curious.
The Mothership, and it's kind of
what I
based
thought.
on the old Comedy Store where he cut his teeth. Mitzi Shore, Pauly Shore's mom.
Right.
There was a Comedy Store in La Jolla too. La Jolla. So we get there. It's pretty easy to get in. I still have my wristband on. We wait for like an hour. Oh, they may take all your phones, right? And they put them in a bag and lock it, but they give you the bag back.
Oh,
and we're like, what the hell? We got to sit here for an hour. It's like the 80s again, waiting for our show. It's like we're supposed to talk to each other. What the hell, And so everybody, but we found out like their reasoning is very sound because the comedy started out well. It was varying degrees of tame, and then just went there. Absolutely went there. So we get a few comedians. I kind of remember some of them. I don't. Chrissy Mayer probably knows them all. They're all varying degrees of good. And then freaking, dude, Ron White comes out. And I'm like, dude, what? No. He killed it. He was so good. And then the guy from Kill Tony comes out, and he was actually the best. He was the best comedian of the night. He was dark and funny as hell. Then Joe comes out, and Joe's stand-up's always been pretty good to me. It's not the greatest ever, but Joe was good. So we think it's over. We're all, yay, we're done. He's on, no, sit down. We got one more comedian. Greatest comedian on earth, Dave Chappelle. I'm like, Jesus, what? And we just went nuts. Absolutely nuts. Absolutely fucking nuts. Dave Chappelle comes out wasted, gets a shot of tequila while he's drinking a Guinness. Says he's all, I just came down here last minute. I've got no material. And then he fucking slays for 40 minutes. That's why he's good. And I can't even say the words here. Lots of gamer words. So the reason they put the and he's the one who said, hey, you know what? My takes need to stand up to criticism. And that's the way it goes. We sling a lot of shit here. We need to be able to take it once in a while. Gavin was in the wrong. Hopefully he's rethinking that. And I will state that now. I'll state that later. And I understand why people are pissed because we're so frustrated. We nerds are so frustrated. For one, we've been dealing with it all our lives, but we have been right culturally for the last 6 years, specifically in our realm, just dead on effing right. And there's still people who don't recognize it, who just don't get it, because they don't know much about pop culture. It would be like me trying to break down the Silicon Valley Bank, which I couldn't do. But yeah, I thought it was freaking great and totally worth the money. And it was a complete surprise. All the comedians were a surprise outside of Joe Rogan. Had no idea who was going to be there. So it's the reason the phones are in the bag is their reasoning is. I think it's also, you don't want people phones being up is distracting the comedians and pictures and shit. But also, you don't want a little clip getting out on Twitter dropping multiple gamer words because there was multiple gamer words, some great Epstein Island jokes. I mean, just completely going after both sides. Actually, they went after the Democrats a little more, but they went after both sides, and it was harsh. It was freaking harsh. But the whole point of the evening was we want a place to go to where we can just do whatever comedy we want to do. That's it. We don't want to, because they, a lot of these clubs have rules now. So now they have a club to go to in Austin called the Mothership where they can say whatever the fuck they want. And so I think that's good. That's a step in the right direction,
I mean, it's so important. And also the phone thing came from a lot of comedians' early works just being leaked. I mean, it happened years ago to Patton Oswalt, some woman with a phone that had the flash was on. So it was on video mode, but the light, I mean, it's so distracting, not just to the performer, but, and also you don't want early bits that are kind of being worked on to leak out. So that phone thing also happens at a lot of film screenings as well. They give you your phone, then they have a device that unlocks it. So you hang out. It's weird. You got to just wait in a line to get your phone unlocked, but I understand it. But man, Like, it also shows how important comedy is during times like this when certain things cannot be said out loud. The comedians are there to say those things and to have those conversations. And what Dave Chappelle said, what you described, like that both sides should be able to engage in some healthy debate. And then it's up to, because I believe that audiences, that the public are smart and they can decide for themselves. They can come to their own conclusions when presented with both sides of an issue. And how did we get to a place where one side's opinion is suppressed, is censored? It's BS. I'm against all of this censorship on social media. I mean, you mentioned just this thing about the banks. We want to influence people's behavior. It's disgusting what we're seeing happening right before our eyes. I never thought I would be in a place where, we'd be living some dystopian sci-fi nightmare as part of our daily lives. And our clothes don't even match how cool the clothes would be in that scenario, in those science fiction scenarios. We're just still wearing jeans and t-shirts. That's my go-to. But no, it's distressing to see.
Like Blade Runner 2049, yeah.
Yeah, well, when are we gonna like LA is as bad or worse, I would say, than Austin. I haven't been to Austin in a couple of years, but
LA's worse, San Francisco's worse, but Austin, I mean, I was on 6th Street. I was on 8th and 6th Street, and it looks just like 6th Street from San Francisco. Little wider, but that's about it. Yeah, 6th in San Francisco is Barter Town. It's crazy.
Yeah, how is this humane? And also
it's not.
They should just hand out BDSM fetish leather gear to all the people living on the street, so at least it looks like Road Warrior. That would be interesting.
Yeah.
Or no, that was a terrible comment.
I don't know if I want to see that while walking down the street, though.
No. I like my boring suburban neighborhood. Give that to me all day long. But it was a great show. Got the hell out of there as quick as we could. And if you ever get a chance to see a show and you want to brave the Mothership where it is, I mean, it was pretty cool.
That's great.
They were, I mean, what's great was the guy from Kill Tony got into like pop culture. So there was a lot of pop culture stuff. I'm like, right on. Giving shit to Wakanda Forever and Black Adam. He's all, why does he? What? Because he didn't understand the comic book part of it, so you'll have to forgive. But he's like, Adam is the whitest name ever. Why would no black guy would be named Adam? And then he did this whole routine of who said it, Kanye or the Jews, and that's something that would not be safe. So it's a game. It was so funny. It was so funny. Oh my god! And everybody was freaking laughing, and it was great.
Oh my god, my jaw still dropped.
So Kill Tony was I'm sorry, I'm forgetting his name. That guy was fucking brilliant. That guy was so good. I got to get him on FNT. I got to. But that was cool when the GM came up to me and said, "Hey, I love Nerdrotic and Friday Night Tides and Critical Drinker. Everybody loves a critical drinker. Everybody loves a critical drinker." So I got news for you, Hollywood. We got some consequences. By the way, Garrett's getting his house roofed because of wind, tornado, whatever. We don't get those down here. Well, not often anyway in San Antonio.
I also hear they have rain in Texas.
They have rain.
And snow.
And we'll get back to the Mandalorian because, dude, my God, is it bad? And I put up a tweet and I stand by it, and I will stand by it by the end of the season until the end of time. Picard season 3 is greater than the Mandalorian season 3. It's not really saying much. I mean, it's not even close. It's not even close.
That 4th episode is so good. I was on the edge of my seat. It felt like a movie. It was just so that and what movie quality, just from everything, dialogue, performances, stakes, like it was so good. It just sort of sucks to like, I got to watch it week to week, right? So whatever. It's not a bad complaint. It's just I want to binge the whole thing. want to binge that whole thing. It's so good.
You'll want to when you're done, but dude, this week's episode, like, make it the first thing you watch when you get up, or if you're up late enough tonight to watch it, if it pops up at midnight or something like that for you.
I will.
It's so good. It is so good. Okay. What also is so good is Hollywood paying consequences for apparently diversity is not their strength. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, not BBC, not that one. Oh, you got the wrong one. The BBC, by the way, is defunding itself. We'll get into that. I wanted to put up the one. I can put it up. It's the one media venture capitalist prospects dim in post SVB era. That one. You got it, Cord Black? Or do I have it? You got it? Okay. So SV, like, it's one bank in Silicon Valley, had 1,500 customers. They're getting bailed out because they're connected to tech companies. You and me are not going to get bailed out. And this is not a political show, and I'm not a financial analyst, but I would say that, get the one that's not behind the paywall. The one you provided, Garrett. Jesus.
It's okay. Garrett is tired too.
We're all tired. No. So as I said yesterday, panic doesn't solve anything. I mean, Tim Pool was positively giddy on his video today going, the world is crashing. Yay. It's like, dude, you're starting to sound like the MSN when there's like a mass shooting. They get fucking excited. You could see their erections from here. It's like, calm down for one.
I feel like Tim Pool, I've watched him on and off for years, but I kind of feel like he's Chicken Little. The sky is falling.
Yeah, it's starting to feel like that.
He wants there to be a civil war. He lights up. He wants his theory to be proven right.
He wants to be right. Yeah.
Who do we get in a big debate with about civil war?
I usually don't get it like super, and like people have their takes, whatever. But like I woke up to that and saw he was positively giddy. I'm like, come on, dude.
It is a bit like, we hope for
a bit.
I'm kind of annoyed with it because I don't want that. I want people I disagree with to wake up and say, why are we being pitted against each other? We are Americans, all of us.
Yes.
This whole thing, like, I never have seen so much divisiveness across so many different spectrums, whether it be, race or whether it be political ideology. And you, Gary, are the person who when I first heard that term political bigotry, I had never thought of it. And now I see it happening so often. It's crazy. People I thought were just sober-minded when it came to just the world, looking at vilifying people they don't even know or interact with because of their beliefs. And just having, grown up in the Midwest and Michigan, I worked some blue-collar jobs. I changed my own oil and fixed my car when it broke down. You get out that Chilton's manual, you find the page, and you fix your car because you can't spend the money on it. Like, I just, I feel like I've had like just a broad spectrum of friends of all walks of life. Right. And it gives you a different perspective. So, and I don't feel like others may have had that. Like they are, I was talking to a friend, we were talking about Sundance and how the film festival landscape has changed. You should read the descriptions of a lot of the movies playing at the South by Southwest Film Festival. I was going to go, Gary. I had a badge, I had a ticket booked, and I pulled out at the last minute because I thought, well, let's see. They're playing John Wick 4. I've already seen it. They're playing the Dungeons and Dragons movie, which opens in a couple weeks. And they're playing a bunch of stuff that's just going to be on HBO Max and a lot of incredibly woke virtue signaling movies by young filmmakers in their 20s that have no life perspective whatsoever and nothing interesting to say. And we got in this whole conversation about where's the next, whatever you think, Kevin Smith, where's this next Soderbergh, Tarantino? Allison Anders. These are prominent filmmakers from the 90s that had voices and vision, and they had something to say. They had statements and something to say about the world. There are no filmmakers like that now. There are no young filmmakers like that now emerging from South by Southwest or any of these festivals. If you read the descriptions, it's just as bad as those Comic-Con panel descriptions that you read. But they're movies. And look, we cover them at Film Threat. We're very honest. We're supportive of emerging filmmakers, emerging voices, but it's kind of depressing. It's like the death of art. It is. Yeah,
it's the death of your medium. It will still be around. It's the death of its prominence. So I will give you an analogy. There is only so much talent in the world. There's a finite number of talented people who can make films, and some of them don't even get to make them. That's the sad part. And then you occasionally get a Spielberg or a Tarantino where, varying degrees of likability from people on that one, but you can't deny that they're pretty damn good at what they do, whether you like it or not. They're objectively good directors that have a huge following. Spielberg changed Hollywood. He became a complete sellout to the people who used to freaking hate him, by the way. Right. But that being said, doesn't take away everything the guy did before. So there's a finite number of talent. Remember when basketball, I'm going to use a sports analogy, folks. Sorry. So basketball wasn't a big sport. It was on in the middle of the night in the 80s. And then it slowly became a bigger sport through, Larry Bird, Dr. J, Magic Johnson, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the 80s era, and then through to Michael Jordan, who launched it into major sports prominence. Once that happened, the talent pool of athletes started shifting from baseball and football to basketball because more longevity of career, you can make more money. It makes sense because before people went to baseball because more longevity of career, less likeliness of injury. You can make more money because there wasn't football had a very strict. They didn't have any free agency back in the early days and stuff. So you started spreading your athletes thin, and it ends up watering down one sport or the other. That's what's going on with film right now. So you have a finite number of talented people. They're going off to do video games and do other shit. They're do other things. They're not going to be film directors anymore because it ain't as sexy as it used to be. It's just not. Now films are produced, Chris. They're produced. They're overproduced. And that's why we have this. And they're overproduced because of the corporate culture, because we don't have we don't have that one guy who will fucking yell at you for his creative vision, because that might upset somebody. It might. But that's what artists do. That's tough shit. I mean, grow thicker skin. There's a difference between being yelled at for not doing your job right and then being, abused. Okay, don't abuse people, but once in a while, when there's millions of dollars on and your neck on the line, you're going to go, damn it. Don't be an idiot.
Gary, you're so right. It's like films used to be this big influential thing that was part of our national conversation. A movie would kind of hit and it would begin a conversation, and there were Oscar movies, that were exciting, and now they're just not part of the zeitgeist and conversation. You know what it is? It's a clip that goes viral. That's part of the national conversation.
Yep.
The clip that goes viral that's weaponized to serve an agenda. That's what it's become. And it is disheartening, look, I'll always be a film guy, and I have something to say with this film I have coming out next month, but it's just not as popular as it used to be. Although I will say, when it comes to basketball, I remember the Bad Boys, because I lived in Detroit at the time.
Yeah, the Bad Boys.
Pistons. It was great. And the rivalry with the Pistons and the Chicago Bulls, there was a big rivalry there. I mean, I loved it. When Dennis Rodman was,
I think Chicago would say that was not really
exactly. But when Dennis Rodman was kind of normal, he was like this,
I love Dennis Rodman. I freaking love that guy. Oh my God.
He was like a kid with a deer in the headlights with his look on his face. And then he sort of got weird with, he just got weird, but I didn't mind.
How many prominent stars and celebrities and athletes get weird after prominence?
That's true.
Madonna. I mean, she was weird before, but she's really fucking weird now. So, but also what all this corporate, so we have dueling narratives going on. And I always thought we were about the truth. I mean, like I speak I speak to the world as I see it. People may disagree. That's fine. That's okay. But the divisiveness that you were speaking of earlier in this world was brought on by Hollywood, by Star Trek, by Star Wars, by things we loved. That's what angers me to the core, is things you used, things that brought us together to divide us, you pieces of shit. And now you're paying the price, and you're not going to get a lot of sympathy. And it does suck for people like Terry Metalis who come in and try to do something right and had little to nothing to do with the garbage that came before. But that's life. Life is unfair. We can't ask fans to just switch that shit off. You can't. I would never do that. Like, to varying degrees, people love it's nice to have like a reinvigorated love for old Star Trek. I'm watching it again. I'm enjoying the hell out of it. And I'm remembering why I loved it and why it was so niche. But then I'm always reminded, oh, these guys came in and they used it as a platform for politics. You pieces of garbage. No, I'm not going to be soft on them. I'm not, because they weren't soft on us. You can bring the article back up. I was just about to get there. I was leading up to it. Back up there, Gary. Get back up there. Get back up there. Media's venture capital prospects dim in the post SVB era. Scroll up, please. If that's kind of hard to see. I see the I and there's a big separation. It goes F cruel. It looks like F cruel irony. No. If cruel irony could be taken from a cloud, it's looming ominously over Austin, Texas this week as the annual South by Southwest Festival, which you were just speaking of, where entrepreneurs and creative businesses of all sorts convened in search of inspiration at the time when the climate couldn't be any more discouraging for them. If it wasn't bad enough already that the rising interest rates have deadened the capital markets necessary for frothy deal making, going well back into 2022, the implosion of Silicon Valley Bank right now, before South by Southwest kicked off, is sure to have a chilling effect on startups currently reeling from macroeconomic woes. Startups. Isn't this a film festival? Like, didn't it start out as a music festival? No, and then it turned into a film festival?
It started as a music festival. Then they added tech. I mean, famously, Twitter was a pitch. They have these like pitch meetings where you pitch. Twitter was pitched there and launched at South by Southwest and found funding. So then it is EDU, so it's education, film. It's weird. It's like this, like it's like a giant TED Talk. But it was also, it used to be one of my favorite places to go just to be able to hang at the bars, hang with filmmakers. It was very chill. You could talk to anybody. It sort of was devoid of the elitism that is in Hollywood or Los Angeles, except now everyone I know who goes to South by, they told me it's basically just LA now.
Yeah, it looks like LA.
It's just like LA.
When I walked around the corner, my wife was laughing because I'm like, oh, I'm officially old. The music's too loud. Like shit. I don't want to fucking be here.
Yeah.
And I don't care. This is I would rather sit around a table with a bunch of nerds at a restaurant. Like, that's what I'd rather do. Like,
but it's like with anything like these things, they start out as like these, like made by a couple people. It has sort of a mission that's it's not stated overtly, but it's like, it's very grassroots. Sundance started that way. South by Southwest started that way. Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con started that way. And they've all been corporatized. They've all been like, oh, we gotta look a certain way. Our image matters and whatnot. And it's just devoid of any conversation. When you should look at the panels and stuff at South by Southwest. It's just like everything you could imagine. It's all the same types of panels and all points of view are not represented. That's what
that's been the biggest problem. So if a con wants to get there's a couple of MegaCon is going to have a Geeks and Gamers panel in a couple weeks. Dallas Fan Expo had a pretty good FNT panel, and Chris had the mega Chad balls to do a panel at LA Comic-Con, where all credit to the nice lady who runs it, allowed it to happen. What was the name of that panel again, Chris Gore? 99%.
99% of movies today are garbage.
Are garbage.
Why 99% of movies today are garbage? It was a very, not by design, but just sort of by happenstance. Like, it was a very diverse panel, lots of points of view represented, but the room was standing room only, and we need more conversation. We need more conversation, less sort of one-sidedness. But all of these things I used to love have become completely one-sided in the conversation, and it's so damaging. And to me, I'm an all ships rise guy. I'm like, let's have the, disabled voices in comics panel. Hell yeah, do it.
Yeah, nobody's got a problem with that.
I have no problem with that.
All the other ones.
And technically speaking, disabled people are the largest, quote, group, because it's cross-section of all types of people. I have a couple friends with disabilities. So what? And I almost even hate saying it putting it that, but who cares? Just the point is that, like, the more the merrier, but to drown out, this is new, to, like, rather than bringing in new voices, it's a suppression of, people. Well, look, I don't have a panel at WonderCon. I wasn't invited to be on a panel. I pitched them 3 panels, and all panels were rejected. And by the way, I have to thank a filmmaker out there who made a movie called My Apocalyptic Thanksgiving. He was like, hey, I have a pro badge. You're my +1. So I am going to go to WonderCon at least for a day.
Go and represent. Yeah. Fuck WonderCon.
Yeah, exactly. But like, it is sort of distressing to me where it's like, oh, there's clearly an agenda to push out people who, and dude, I have seen stuff. I have seen Matt Groening say the most horrific, cancelable things during like a Futurama panel.
Yeah.
And he should feel comfortable saying that. He should feel completely comfortable saying that, along with other types of panels, these raunchy, like, sort of drink and draw panels that they would do with, what's his name? Is the guy Sergio Aragoni? Like, he would do this panel where they'd be like drawing something, and the humor is really raunchy and like over the top. And I was like, well, that's a fun panel at a Comic-Con. That's why you go, is this stuff lives in the room. Like it doesn't.
John Barrowman, anything goes.
Anything goes, and that's not the way things are now.
Nope, they are not. It's definitely going to have an impact on the venture ecosystem. It's called, well, I guess there's no better phrase for it. The swamp got drained, but it drained itself. Said Charles Hudson, managing partner and founder of early stage venture capital firm Precursor Ventures. We're talking about making art, right? Like in the South by Southwest panel discussion, what's driving digital media deals Sunday? I worry that it might cast a pall over just people's willingness to engage in risky things. You think in venture capital support is going to soften in any number of industries. It will be doubly felt in the media business. In the wake of flame out of such digital media ventures as BuzzFeed and Vice, co-created by Gavin McInnes, that were the darlings of the VC world not too long ago, no one is beating down the door of anyone in the media sector to begin with. The exits are small. Good luck getting to $1 billion, a figure top VCs sneeze at, and the number of willing buyers even smaller. Most of the media companies will invest in, it's like the same 3 or 4 seed stage investors, said Hudson and the panel, moderated by the Wall Street Journal's Jessica Tunkel. I text them and we're like, are we gonna do this together? Yes or no? And it's like the other hundreds of VCs for the companies. So venture capital, we're looking at technology, media, and telecommunications. I guess this is by millions, Garrett. Is that by millions? Billions? 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 Millions? Lots of money that we'll never have. So I see a bit, scroll up a little bit. I want to see that chart. Look at the chart. So that number, look at the number during COVID. It just skyrockets. Look at that. It was totally an accident, everybody. And if you think nothing was engineered, you are a conspiracy theorist. A total accident. All this happened. And then look at it in 2023. I have a sound effect for that. So I'm not going to pretend I'm a genius. I just see a kind of a big number, the biggest number, a second biggest number, then the lowest number following the second biggest number. That looks like a decline to me. Scroll down. What? Oh, I got to read. Sorry. I meant to read this. Excuse me while I whip this out. No, just kidding. I drink, therefore I am for $199.99. Hell! The people saving the Star Wars IP are the tabletop players who are telling stories. Tulsa by Night, nerds in stuff, XP gamers, etc. Telling compelling stories and carrying the torch when the IP owners are too busy sniffing their own farts, as well as fans continually calling out their failures. Hail to you. Hey, tell your own stories. And then eventually, maybe you can take some of these Star Wars stories that you're making up and make them your own story. You know, that's how these things go. I know you're listening, Garrett. I know you're listening, Extra Girl, but Extra Girl's really tired. She can, 9 words might be too much for her today. But that documentary we covered on Forbidden Frontiers. Did you notice at the end when the young lady spoke about how important stories were to mankind? There's a little clip where she, right before she goes, you know, lions rear their young by playing with them. Well, the humans do it by telling stories. This is how we tell our values. This is how we pass on our beliefs. This is how we pass on history, is through stories. That's how important they were from day one, from Painting on Rocks, which, you know, Ryan pointed out and I pointed out on FNT. That's how important this stuff is. And that's how important it is. Absolutely important. And to be ignored, well, it was ignored. We are in this divisive culture because woke activists came in and took over the willing and able corporate media, who was risk averse and so afraid of being called racist, they were willing to do just about anything. And then it was also taken over due to complete apathy from the other side. See, when these two sides go at each other, usually there's, like, most of us are right in the fucking middle. 90% of us are in the middle, right? And there's some balance. You know, I don't want one side taking over. That would be horrific.
Yes.
So I you know, like, one takes over a little while and we get a little balance. That's fine. But things are so out of balance right now, and it's due to, well, one side being lockstep and the other side being apathetic, going, these are just kid things, they're stupid. So like, pop culture is one of the reasons the right loses all the time. I don't know how many times we got to say it till they fucking get it. And if they don't want to get it, okay, keep losing. Keep losing. Entrepreneurs dreaming of big checks may want to knock off a 0 or 2 these days, though the best of the crop, confident in their health and their business, could still probably hold their ground. You mean like Joe Rogan? Said Brett Weinstein, yeah, Chief Development Officer at Candle Media, a new company founded by a pair of Disney veterans who have acquired media ventures, including Hello Sunshine and Moonbug Entertainment. Never heard of them. Scroll down. Like, a lot of this stuff is probably going to be what, podcasts or something. I don't know. Scroll down. Plan B Entertainment. I don't know. Still sounds like a bunch of woke shit to me. Okay, Garrett, now pull up the article from the one that says the Washington Post went full white supremacist or something like that. Was it? Oh, Wall Street Journal. Wall Street Journal went full white supremacist. I was like, oh my God. And regarding Star Wars, who has the rights to the EU? Could these be turned into audio dramas? They absolutely could, and they have been. Some have been turned into audio dramas. Dark Empire 1 and 2 are fully cast out. I'm sure there's much more. But Disney owns the rights. Disney owns the rights. Look, it's the real X-ray girl. Says Polly. Says Polly. The Wall Street Journal. Yes, Vanity. It's Vanity Fair. Holy shit. Wall Street Journal goes full white supremacist, blames Silicon Valley Bank on one black and one LGBTQ plus. A columnist theorizes that the bank may have been distracted by diversity demands. How is that white supremacist? How is the truth white supremacist? The mandated diversity demands on entertainment in particular. I don't know about and then all of our institutions. What was the Silicon Valley Bank CEO doing? Planning something, and taking out a bunch of money before the bank collapsed, and it went woke. Yeah, it went woke and went broke. As you've probably heard by now, on Friday, Silicon Valley Bank, a lender to some of the most notable names in the tech world, became the biggest bank to fail since 2008 financial crisis. How did this happen? Not surprisingly, a magnitude of factors appears to have contributed to the company's downfall, including its failure to account for rising interest rates, venture capital drying up, and prevalence of uninsured deposits who usually ask for their money back when their things are going bad, and the lack of regulatory over. Oh, of course, we need more regulation. Regulation caused this, by the way, thanks to one Donald Trump. So this is Donald Trump's fault.
Yeah, I was watching footage today, some other channel talking about this, and they just showed footage of Donald Trump. And trying to draw it back to, look, the deregulation is the deregulation, but the making bad choices of betting on teams to succeed, and that's the bank's fault.
That's the bank's fault.
The problem is the criteria that they have to give out this money in independent film. They call it dumb money. It's when someone who doesn't know about the movie business invests in the movie business. And what generally happens is you end up with bad movies that are so bad they don't even make it into a film festival, much less any, just nothing happens with it. And so you need smart money, people who actually understand the industry, to invest in things that are going to pay out. And that's where so much dumb money, or what I call a lot of the filmmakers at Sundance and South by Southwest, trust fund hobbyists. They're literally just like, it's like art welfare. And a lot of the people investing, they're like, well, it's a first time filmmaker. Who cares? I'll lose money. You end up with a bad movie, but they get to go to a premiere of a film. I don't know. I just feel like we need to go back to merit-based for everything.
Yeah. So
merit-based.
I mean, I've seen enough, Garrett. Okay. For one, it was Gavin Newsom who mandated that you have to have diversity on your boards. The state is mandating to private companies that they have to have diversity in their board of directors.
Right.
The companies agreed to this. The companies supported Gavin Newsom. The companies supported who's in the White House now? Who's in the White House now? President Biden, not Trump. Okay. So, and we're years in. So stop it. Just stop it. Okay. Is it surprise anybody that people are saying it's 2008 all over again? Who was freaking president in 2008? It was the end of the Bush era, right?
Exactly.
End of the Bush era. We're moving into the Obama era. And what happened? All the banks got bailed out. All the banks got bailed out. They all got bailed out. Wall Street was very happy with Obama. So we have the same administration in, essentially, for 2008 and the repercussions afterwards. Uniparty, baby. Uniparty. And
if you don't allow these banks to fail, they will do this again. They need to fail and be accountable for their bad decisions. Period. That just be accountable for it.
Yeah.
And those investors who put money into those banks or whatever, I mean, you deserve to fail. The bailout, bad idea on this, and
horrible idea.
It just means it will be repeated in the future, and it's just going to continue to create a divide.
Kicks the can down the road. That's all it does. So the result of this is, yes, there are factors, but going completely woke and focusing on diversity instead of merit, instead of making money, it doesn't mean you exclude anybody. You just find the best people, however they identify and look like.
Exactly.
Because this isn't freaking movie making. This is real life. But it's bleeding into real life, and now there's going to be consequences, and I'm sure they're just going to kick the can down the road, which is going to make things worse later. So you are going to see, when it comes back to Hollywood, dialing it back to pop culture, a lot, and I mean a lot of things canceled. They're already starting to cancel a ton of shit.
Isn't Willow canceled?
I believe so.
Breaking news.
Is that Garrett posted? Yeah. So did Iger say? Didn't Iger sort of intimate that it's like things need to perform, things need to do well?
Yeah. I'm doing some digging on that, along with going on the empowered thing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh shit! Yeah.
So, are you watching it?
I am. Horrible, dude.
Oh my god, I have no interest. Oh, that looks so horrible.
I'm gonna mix it in though with kind of like the fall of like Disney's like reeling right now. They're absolutely reeling. So Willow is canceled. Pull that back up. Pull it back up. Let's see what it says. Disparu is going to be so disappointed. There will be no second season of Willow. Willow canceled after one season on D+. There will be no second season of Willow. The live-action original series based on the 1988 fantasy film directed by Ron Howard. The news comes 2 months after the 8-episode first season of the show, which served as a sequel to the classic movie, ended its run on the streaming platform. Willow, by the way, Rings of Power should be doing the same exact thing right now. They should break down the sets, bring everybody home, call it a day. Because nobody's going to watch that fucking show when it comes back out. Willow, which picked up years after the events of the film, did not have the zeitgeist cultural impact of the original, but was well received by critics, getting an 83% on Rotten Tomatoes. While the series won't continue, Willow remains an important IP in the Lucasfilm library, so it may be revisited in the future. Lucasfilm is a mess. And how bad does Indiana Jones look not bringing Short Round back?
With Ke Kwan having won Best Supporting Actor, to have him in that movie in place of Phoebe Waller-Bridge would have been so great. I mean, think about the timing of that. I mean, that was one of the highlights of the Oscars. I mean, it was few and far between. I mean, maybe they should be grateful that the Oscars was kind of boring. The best moment was in the very beginning, like when Ke Kwan won that award. He gave a speech about being grateful and appreciative for his career and telling a story about his life. And that's, I think, what was always inspiring for me as a kid watching the Oscars. It was one of the few ways, that and Siskel and Ebert were one of the few ways you could see clips from movies on television. Because you and I, Gary, grew up in the media dark times where, I mean, I remember recording movies on cassette tapes so I could listen back to them.
Dude, that's what I did that too when the TV versions of Close Encounters came out, and Superman in particular, because it was a 2-parter and it was longer. Yeah, I just made my own audio. I cut out the freaking commercials. I would sit there and pause at the commercials. Yeah, and listen to those things all the time. Yeah, I was a little fucking nerd. Okay, that's what I did. Well, and I would be sitting next to the TV, and I'd have my little Panasonic cassette recorder right up against the speaker. Hang on, I need to change the title.
This is like when I would do the music version with cassettes as well.
Yeah,
make the perfect mixtape.
Make the perfect mixtape. That's right. Yeah, I never got like Melissa Flowers or anything. I just gave her mixtapes and drawings of Batman.
Oh, that's actually cute.
The news comes as Lucasfilm has been reassessing its film slate, taking time to identify the next movie in the Star Wars franchise. Meanwhile, the company has built a sizable Star Wars TV footprint. Have they? Have they? Keep that article up, Garrett, but you can go watch baby boy Ryan's video on or he tweeted about it. I don't know if he's probably made 5 videos on it by now. Over 4 days, they got 1.5 million views. Now, what's 1.5? You do the math, X-Ray Girl. What's 1.5 million divided by 4? By the way, that's down 25% from Mandalorian season 2. That's down 25.
375,000.
So they had 375,000 views. The Drinker does that. His almost every video he puts out does exactly that. Well, more. Sometimes he's gotten 2 million views in 2 days. So like shit. Not all the time, but I can do that. I can do 375,000 in a day. I've done it on this channel, and so have many others. This is costing millions of dollars, and it's on their this is their flagship show on their streaming service, and it's dying. Star Wars is dead. Star Wars is dead. You know what I saw trending on Twitter today? It wasn't Mandalorian, it was Andor.
What?
Andor was trending on Twitter today, not the Mandalorian.
Why?
Probably because people go, Andor's better than the Mandalorian.
Oh no.
That middle section of the 3rd episode felt like an Andor storyline.
It did. Except for that little boy that guy was with the whole time. She was in Ant-Man and the Wasp. And they all looked like they were walking in place in front of fucking volume. It looked terrible.
Yeah, it's all volume shot. It looks sometimes although there was the one set that was like The Office, which I thought was kind of weird. It just I just feel like these aren't the stories I imagined when I was a kid playing with Star Wars action figures. At a time where you took them out of the box, you played with them. They were dirty. You left them out in the backyard. They survived the rain. I still have my die-cast metal Millennium Falcon from then, which is
I do too. I have like 2 things left. I have a Jawa and the die-cast Millennium Falcon, and that's it.
I searched why Andor was trending.
Why?
And I found a funny tweet because everyone's comparing it actually. Post Andor clarity. Anyways, that's why.
Yep. Okay. That's why it's trending. That's why it was trending. Yeah. Okay. So I haven't finished the episode yet, but it's almost terrible enough that like it's getting to Obi-Wan levels. It's getting silly.
Yeah.
Like in the 2nd episode when little baby Yoda escapes out of the this is remember when Gendry went in Game of Thrones season 7, they said, go back to the wall, send a raven to Daenerys while they're surrounded by zombies in the middle of the lake. So he runs from the middle of the lake to the wall, sends a raven to Daenerys, who has to fly back on her dragon. And I did the math on that one because Westeros is supposed to be the size of South America, and it's like 5 days. Like minimum 5 days. And so they have little baby Yoda go up and tell R5D4 to go get Bo-Katan, and he points at a fucking map and he goes beeba dooba 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 dooba, and I can hear all the girls going, oh, that's so cute, but it's fucking stupid. It's stupid. It's retarded. And they go back and get Bo-Katan. She like goes blah blah blah, gets back in her ship, goes back and saves the Mandalorian, who was like trapped by some cage fucking robot to go take his bath. That's like, I was like, what the fuck? This is stupid. I saw people like, I thought they had seen more than me. I am completely confident by saying by Picard season 3, this is an infinitely better series. It's better written, it's better acted, better characterization. Everything is better. The catering is better. Everything is better. And I can't believe I'm saying that about a Kurtzman project, but it's probably because Kurtzman had nothing to fucking do with it. But like, Yeah, it's fucking bad. It's like a bad card. This is supposed to be an animated series, dude. It's game cutscenes.
That it makes sense because Filoni's involved. It's like this is a cartoon, and there's sort of things you'll forgive in a cartoon show, like just sort of more simplified logic. You're not going to go into too much character depth in a cartoon show. I mean, The Mandalorian is effectively a cartoon at this point. Although, back to the holiday special, which was the one really cool thing I didn't get to see at South by Southwest. There's a documentary about the making of the holiday special and the sort of like, how like infamous that thing has become. Remember the cartoon of Boba Fett? That was how they introduced Boba Fett.
Yeah.
The holiday special cartoon. He was riding that weird snail creature, a mollusk or whatever.
What year did it come out?
God, I think it was 78. Was it 78?
Yeah. Dude, every kid in I was in elementary school, right? Yeah. We loved it. We're like, that was awesome. But it was the 70s. So whatever. Yeah. It was just more Star Wars. Yeah. But I definitely will see that documentary. I will see that documentary. But Star Wars is dead. Disney managed to kill the former biggest intellectual property machine ever created. Then they purchased Marvel, which was not created by them, and they are in the process. The door is closing on Marvel. The great Chuck Dixon was on the Real BBC 2 weeks ago, and he said exactly that. And listen, he sees Chuck Dixon has been writing comics for decades, and comics are kind of a microcosm of Hollywood. Okay. So that's where a lot of things get tested. You see a lot of trends come and go, and they also double down on stupid shit and burn it into the ground. And I've seen it happen just over years and years. And Chuck Dixon has seen more. And he said, when things close, when the door closes on shit like this, it closes fast. So we had this long, destruction period because that's based on the strength. George Lucas built the strongest IP of all time. Kevin Feige and many others built something that will never be equaled with the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But Ant-Man, is Ant-Man any worse or better? I mean, I would say Ant-Man's probably better than Shang-Chi. If we want to rate it, it's pretty fucking bad, but I think it's better than Shang. I think Shang-Chi is shit. But it's all shit. It's all shit. We'll have to see.
Did you hear the director of Shang-Chi will be doing the next Avengers movie?
Yes. Yeah.
No.
And who's writing? You know who's writing it?
Who?
The writer of Ant-Man.
Are they going to? I just think at a certain point they have to they need to learn some sort of lessons about this. What is the takeaway, right? If someone doesn't like your pizza, they're going to stop buying your pizza because it tastes terrible. But with movie companies, it's your fault that you didn't like it.
Yeah, well, there was a time Willow being canceled. Okay, we're going to go back to Willow. I'm guessing 3 years ago, Willow doesn't get canceled. It gets a second season. 2 years ago, it gets a second season. Now it gets canceled. This is what should have been happening with Star Trek Discovery season 1. This is what should have happened with freaking Boba Fett's probably not going to get. Is it going to get a second season? That'd be stupid if it got a second season. But yeah, Batwoman should have been canceled after the first episode. All the CW should have been canceled. Gotham Knights is on the air just because they made it. I mean, it's absolutely embarrassing. I saw some clips. Fat Steven Seagal out there put up a summary, and that was perfect. That was good enough for me. Little gender swapped Robin beats the shit out of a guy who's a 1.5 feet taller than her and outweighs her about 150 pounds with no superpowers. It was just really stunning and brave. The cancellation. The news comes as Lucasfilm has been reassessing its film slate. What film slate?
Exactly.
Chris? What films? We've heard some shit announced. We've seen nothing go into production. Zero. Taking time to identify the next movie in the Star Wars franchise. Meanwhile, the company has built a sizable Star Wars TV footprint on Disney Plus, which such series as live action hit The Mandalorian, which is now performing below season 2, and the upcoming Ahsoka Tano, Dave Filoni's girlfriend, The Acolyte, a show run by Harvey Weinstein's former assistant, Leslie Headland, and Skeleton Crew, which we'll see if that happens, as well as Animated Fair. You know what they didn't mention, Chris? You know what show they didn't mention? You know what's missing from that? Lando. Where's the Lando show?
Oh, the Lando show is supposed to happen.
Yeah. Where's the Lando show? What about the Droids animated show? I guess that one's probably going to come out. But what about the Rangers of the New Republic? Oh. Hail Gina Carano. We stand with Gina Carano. I'm not saying it's the only thing that killed Star Wars. I'll say it's one of the two straws that broke that killed the Golden Goose, that raped it to death, which is firing Gina Carano and Obi-Wan coming out. I think that was it. That was the death knell for Star Wars. That was it. The cancellation also comes amid increased scrutiny at the media companies, including Disney, which has been curbing streaming content spending in search of profitability. Profitability, ladies and gentlemen. It is now important again. So it hasn't been profitable. It hasn't been profitable. I think the first sign was when CW just came out and said, yeah, we never made a penny. So if the CW, an on-air broadcasting network that can sell advertising dollars, didn't make a penny with their low-budget bullshit, what the hell's going on at the streaming services? Oh, they're not making any money. Ellie Bamber. Oh, why are all these names? Oh, okay. All right. So Willow introduced new. I don't want to need a summary of Willow. Fuck it. It's canceled. Willow's canceled.
I have a question. Did it? Because I never finished
chat for Disparu. F in the chat for Disparu. He's gonna be so upset.
Did it end on a cliffhanger? Did it end with the aspects of the story untold?
You tell me, chat.
Yeah, because I didn't finish it, so I am unaware.
I am unaware. Thankfully. But yeah, Mandalorian was always just kind of, it's meh DeLorean to me.
Meh DeLorean. Oh, that's good.
But now it's like, it's gotten into territory where I might have to review it.
Oh no.
It's gotten cringe. It's gotten really cringe. Okay, when that chick speaks in Jawa, my butt puckered a little bit. That was a lot of cringe. Like, I wasn't sure if I'll ever go to the bathroom again. But well, that might also have something to do with I haven't had anything to eat in 3 days. So you know what
sucks?
Are you
on a fast?
Yeah, I'm on a fast. So I went
halfway through.
I went on a fast, and then I went so we're driving up there. Melissa's driving up, I drive back because she was all drunk. And she's like pointing out all these barbecue places we can eat at. I'm like, could you stop?
Oh no.
And then we get there and it all smells like pizza and barbecue. I'm like, fuck this. So I was crabby as fuck when I got there. I was like, it's good to fast. You're right. Fasting rules, Patrick. You're right. It does. It's good I feel great though. I feel fantastic. I got my coffee. I got my stupid little shake here. That was my breakfast. Yeah, I get to eat something tomorrow. I do believe it's like a grass-fed ground beef.
That sounds delicious.
Great. Oh, wow. Great. Mandalorian season 3 premiere numbers show signs of Star Wars fatigue. Oh, really? Look at you, Access Media, turning on your masters. Streaming numbers from the season 3 premiere episode of The Mandalorian on Disney Plus show signs of Star Wars fatigue. I love it when they repeat the fucking headline. The Mandalorian might have a weak spot in its powerful Beskar armor since the season 3 premiere has put in lower than expected streaming numbers, possibly proving signs of Star Wars fatigue. The Star Wars spin-off series which helped launch Disney Plus in 2019, reached the top of the streaming viewership charts based on trends collected from Samba. Okay, Samba TV is full of shit. No. We don't believe Samba TV. The only semi, and I mean semi-reliable numbers are from Nielsen. And that is through Roku and TV apps. It does not count computers. It does not count cell phones. And of course, the streaming services do not share their data. Do you want to know why, Chris? I know you know the answer, but I'm going to just say it for the people who don't.
Because they lie. They lie. I'm pretty sure.
The numbers are low. They're really low. Yes. If they're really big, they would share. You know what? When Stranger Things kicks ass, Netflix is out there going, bazillion views, everybody. So here we go. Samba TV is bullshit. Okay. As reported via The Wrap, but there's a cause for Parrot Analytics is more bullshit than Samba TV. Nielsen's is who you listen to. Chapter 17, the apostate or the prostate. I'm going to give myself 3 on that one. I thought it was funny. Topped Andor's September 21st premiere by 50%. 50%. So it got double Andor's numbers. And quite frankly, I'm not surprised because that first episode of Andor is Andor. It is boring. It actually trailed fellow Star Wars offering Obi-Wan Kenobi opener. Well, yeah, that's Ewan McGregor coming back. I get it, but it turned into the Riva show. By the way, Riva's at HasLabs. HasLabs is Hasbro, and they crowdfund toys. And they're usually pretty successful. Some don't make it. G.I. Joe had the record. Hail to our friend Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers. The G.I. Joe brand is still strong because they haven't made anything. Well, they made a couple of shitty movies, but we forgot about that. But it remains strong and good for G.I. Joe. I've gotten some stuff off HasLabs. They made a pretty fucking awesome Galactus, gotta say. But she had a lightsaber, and right after the Don't Hate Riva campaign that was started by Disney, so fishing a couple of comments that they could have made up themselves, as far as I know, and then going to the actress first to prepare her for her other role, this is why we call them adult pretenders, to say that she was being attacked by fans, the fan baiting argument before the show even comes out. That should be the biggest red flag that your show is going to absolutely suck. So her lightsaber did not fund. All those Riva fans couldn't come out and support their Riva with the Riva lightsaber.
Well, so by the way, Alan,
what did Alan
sorry,
say?
Gary. The Riva action figures are on discount, deep discount at Target. I know this only because Alan bought one.
Why?
I have to have a discussion with Alan. He said it was on sale and he thought it was funny. I don't think he bought it because he wanted it. I think he bought
it's a joke. Yeah, I would buy it as a joke. I mean, I'd get a Captain. I think I got a Captain Marvel one as a joke, and then I think I chopped it into pieces or something. But it was like I didn't do it on video. I have a Clara action figure that's being eaten by an alien on the floor. I'll take a picture of it someday. Some of the arms fell off, and all the aliens are eating her. The lightsaber didn't fund. And when you see in the world where there's actual data where people can vote before it gets manipulated, you see that these series have not been popular ever. So your film franchise, which is now Star Wars is turned into direct to video. It's a direct to video franchise now. And that was because of Disney. The diminishing returns on the films on the Disney trilogy are startling. And they were trying to poo-poo them. And now people are going, yeah. Rian Johnson left $1 billion on the table. Kathleen Kennedy left $1 billion on the table with The Last Jedi. And that got even worse with The Rise of Skywalker. Yeah. And companies privately talk about that. Like, what could we have earned if we didn't piss off half our fan base and go into this huge culture war with fucking Star Wars? What could we have earned if we didn't use it as a tool of division? And to the critics and the Access Media shills who all participated in that, pushing the toxic fandom narrative, well, your shit's about to shut down too. I'm not sorry. Not sorry. Dude, you were so smart to stay independent. Stay indie, brah. Stay indie, Chris.
Yeah. There might be a future in indie. Just because I think as more and more people get pissed off from Hollywood, I just see that happening. So
if Lord Baratheon for $49.99, if Samba TV is bullshit, then why are you guys believing it's bad in the ratings? Why not wait for Nielsen streaming ratings, which will tell us the real story for Mando? Good point, and I will. Samba's, but that's why I said, I thought it was Nielsen, but it's Samba, so we got to wait a month. We'll see. We'll see. So when the Mandalorian came out, and thank you, Lord Baratheon. But I have no doubt. It's fallen, because you can tell, you can see it. You can absolutely see it. Mandalorian's not trending. A lot of people aren't talking about him. Star Wars Theory, when he's doing his watch parties, is getting fewer viewers. No reflection on him. It's a reflection on the show he's covering. You can see it. And people tend to get tired of this shit around the third season. And plus, I've watched it, and it's fucking terrible. It's fucking terrible. Like, it's worse than season 2. Like, season 2 is better than this. It's much better. So yeah, the Nielsen's will be out in a month. We'll know in a month. And remember what the article just said. The first series topped the Nielsen charts, topped it. And it might, but it's minutes. So we're going with Samba TV discussing, I believe, what Disney said, though, which is 1.5 billion over 4 days, which is a very small sample size, if it's even fucking true. It's gone off. It's off of a fucking algorithm. So we never know. We have to guess. But the only legit ones, as Lord Baratheon says, and I say, is Nielsen. That way you'll know. I'm guessing it's 25%, though, maybe lower. Because okay, let's go to Twitter right now. Not trending at all. R.I.P. legend. Somebody die? Somebody. I don't want people to die. Bobby Cadwell. Rest in peace. Aaron Rodgers, Ticketmaster, Ryan Reynolds. I'll go to more.
Aaron Rodgers, I think he's going to the Flash Gordon was a quarterback for the New York Jets, and now Aaron Rodgers may in fact be.
Flash Gordon, quarterback, New York Jets. Fucking love that movie. Got to get him on the show.
Sam Jones. He's great. He lives in San Diego, man.
Okay. Willow is trending. Mad Max is trending. Drake is trending. Bobby Caldwell, AR-15, Coruscant. So that Coruscant with 1,476 tweets. The Cure, Ryan Reynolds, Woke with 305,000 tweets. Ticketmaster, Aaron Rodgers, Joe Exotic, R.I.P. legend. Let's dig deeper here. I'm digging deeper. I'm trying to get to entertainment, just entertainment. We have 700 million for Jizu Me visual teaser. Hello Future 100 million. Boruto, Jimin. I don't even know what the fucking half of this set. What? Good God. What are you people talking about? Set Me Free Part 2, Teaser 2, Get Out, After Hours, Drake, Bella, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, La La Land, Set Me Free Part 2 is coming again. Kim Jizu. Who's jizzing on Kim? Rebel Moon, the Star Wars Zack Snyder offshoot. Mia Goth, Coruscant, again with 1,400 tweets. The Wolf of Wall Street, GQ apologized, TXT, congratulations, Tasia, DeVito, and Mad Max, of all things. Mandalorian is not trending. Didn't it come out today?
Yeah.
I mean, that's not surprising for like Star Trek Discovery, but it's not trending. It's not trending. Thundercats Ho for £2 British. Does Friday Night Tights now have a crisis team like the Oscars? Yeah. So our crisis team got together We put our heads together and we said, next time this happens, we have this ready.
Excuse me while I whip this out.
Hours of meetings brought us to that conclusion. Thundercats, ho! James Gunn could make an excellent Snowflame movie. Oh, he would for £2 Snowflame. Snowflame, the cocaine superhero. Gotta love it. Bradley Burnett has gifted 10 Nerdrotic memberships for $50. Mine Christian Gendaken. I'm saying that wrong. 999 for 25.25. Don't bother reading my username. I did. Out of curiosity, has anyone of you good people watched Enemy 2013 with Jake Gyllenhaal, directed by Denis Villeneuve.
No.
Venice Beach.
Yeah.
I have not seen Enemy. I have seen a lot of his films though, and I think he's okay at times, and I think he's like Dune was good. Dune was very, very good.
Sounds like a war movie. Is it a war movie?
Superco? Enemy? No. Blade Runner 2049? Not good. Bad movie.
It had potential. It had potential. But yeah, it was ultimately disappointing.
Angela Ritter has gifted 5 Nerdrotic memberships for $25. Thank you. Thank you. Albius for $20. Fort Worth is about the only city I can stand in Texas. Denton is just a little Austin filled with the same crazies. Dallas, I only go there for work or concerts. The rural areas around Fort Worth are better. Just a lot of meth. Yeah, I like this.
Oh.
I like I mean, like there's meth everywhere, but I like being around the hill country of Texas. I think it's beautiful. It's nice. It's chill. It's sparse. Yeah, but I had to be close to a city because I need the internet, and I'm not Tim Pool. I'm not Joe Rogan. I can't have fiber optic line brought out to my house in the middle of nowhere. It's possible. It costs a fortune.
Mm-hmm.
They offered that in Escondido, because Escondido, when I was staying there for a little while, they're like, well, we can build you a fiber optic line. It wouldn't like be building it out into the middle of nowhere, but your bill would be $650 a month.
Oh my God.
Like, no. How about no? Yeah. The
Dang.
Argonath for $20. Says Gary, Austin didn't clear out any tents for South by Southwest. It's worse. Oh, they did. No, they said they did. Okay, they said they did. There were still tents everywhere, like everywhere. It was a nightmare. But maybe they just said they did. Gotcha. On any tents of South by Southwest, the worst now. It's worse now than 2 months ago. That said, LA and San Fran are 100 times worse. They are. I live here, and more of downtown doesn't have any sign of homeless people. Love your work, though. Well, Joy Austin. I'm over cities. I am done. I don't find anything fun about them, useful about them at all. I lived in a pretty big one for 18 years, and never ever again. But I love you, and I hope they deal with that homeless problem. But it was shocking, Chris, because we don't have that here. Not where I am.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember when Kurt Metzger was in Milwaukee and he drove under a bridge and he's all, I just found a bridge with no homeless people under it. I'm like, yeah, we find those bridges all the time here. But every bridge in Austin now has homeless people under it, and it's sad, and you're right, it's absolutely inhumane. And you had the best term for it when we were driving in LA, going to I think we were going to one of these fabulous events you took me to. You called it the homeless industrial complex because they're making money from it.
It's because they're making money. There are government programs that have been set up so that these homeless people get a certain amount of money, but rather than the money going directly to the homeless people, they go to these organizations via the state of California, so that the homeless people, all our homeless people have cell phones. They'll have cell phones, and they all have programs, but the programs get the money. The money is absorbed by the programs, presumably to help the homeless, except there's no incentive to make them not homeless anymore, or to, get them off drugs, or just whatever it is, or to treat the mental illness that it's illness, drugs, and very rarely it's, although there is I saw a local news story just talking about the people who are working people who live in their cars. Like, these are people who have jobs and go to work, but they just live in a car that they park. You can see them in Burbank. There's those big mobile homes and cars and just people living in them. So they're not like these are people who've fallen on hard times financially.
And they're absolutely out there.
Yeah.
You want to help people. You want to, I don't believe in the central government. I don't believe it's here to help people. I don't think it's capable of helping people due to its infinite bureaucracy. I think, maybe find a way to help each other. I do it my little way, through AA and stuff. But I don't have the answer for it. But whatever they've come up with in our American cities ain't working. I don't think I'm going out on a limb by saying that. It's getting worse. Giving them cash and drugs isn't going to help. I can't think of the kid's name. There's a kid who I follow on Twitter. And all he does is go down to 6th and then Tenderloin and shoot video of just people selling drugs and doing drugs open out in the street. And I told the story when I went to go get my passport a few years back with my son, Logan. It's the last time I actually got kind of violent with somebody. So this guy fires up a crack pipe right in my kid's face. Right in my fucking kid's face. So I told my kid to go back to the car. We'll go back to the car, son. So he goes back to the car. And me and that guy have words, like serious words, like, get the fuck out of here. I don't ever fucking want to see you again. You just blew fucking crack smoke in my fucking kid's face. You're lucky you're not,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the official smell of the city of Los Angeles is urine and marijuana. It just, you cannot go anywhere without smelling marijuana on the streets everywhere. And look, I'm all about the decriminalization of drugs like marijuana. I think that's fine, but I think you do it in the privacy of your own home.
Sure.
And I don't know how to legislate that, but I can't imagine like raising my kids. My kids are grown and gone, right? So they have their own lives. But if my kids were young and that was happening, I am afraid of what I might do. I'm just afraid of the things I would do. Yeah, it just annoys me. So
it's the amount we'll put up with, right? So, I was live streaming. I come back with stories of picking my kid up from school that were just nightmares, absolute nightmares. The entire school closed because some homeless guy is whacking off in front of the school. So they surround it with police, but they won't remove the guy. They won't touch the guy.
What?
So they called off school that day. I'm like, what the fuck? Go get him. Tell him to pull his pants off and go get him. I'll go get him. It's like,
whatever happened. I kind of feel like our certain departments officials are laying back to sort of, just sort of watch everything burn. It's disgusting.
Yep.
It's disgusting to see, that they're just and also think of it from the cops' perspective. There's liability, right? Like, they're under the gun of liability. If they do too much or they're so restricted in boxes to do things, they can't do the very basic things.
And you know what's going to happen? And not as a flag waving fan of cops. All right. If you're a cop out there and you watch me, I respect you as an individual. It's like supporting people who work at the DMV. You're part of the system. I understand it. I respect that. I will respect the laws and be nice to people, but I ain't root, because what we're getting is bad cops. Through all this, we're going to get bad cops, like terrible cops that are bad at their job and won't be able to do shit. So, Second Amendment, baby. I've never been a fan of live award shows, but Chris' live stream changed my opinion. I still don't plan on watching any actual award show, but I'll definitely watch Film Threats live coverage. All hail the Fellowship from Mary Welcome for $19.99. Thank you. That was a good time.
That was fun. Thank you, Gary. It's the most viewers. I mean, look, you sneeze and you get 5,000 people watching you on YouTube. That was new experience for me. We had 2,600 people, I think, at our height. So, I mean, yeah, awards is kind of our in our wheelhouse, only in the sense that a lot of the movies that we cover, that's kind of all they get. They don't make a lot of money, these small indie movies. God, I saw one the other day. I'm dying. I should just, you got to see it. It's called Abruptio. And it's a kind of movie you've seen before. It's a thriller, right? That gets sort of weird science fiction-y thing, but it's all done with puppets. But they're human sized. They're all done with human sized puppets. I should just, dude, it is the cool. I watched the movie. I'm like, I got to watch this again.
I got to see that. I got to see that.
Abruptio. And I hear what I love though, when I watch like other live streams, like Real BBC, or you did the Nooner on Monday by yourself. That was entertaining. I love when people they'll super chat you and say, "When are you going to watch RRR?" I love it. It's like
it's like a meme.
It's like leave Gary alone. If he doesn't want to watch it, he doesn't want to watch it. But so I feel a little bad for you, but on that. But like, I just feel like it would be a good conversation, and in the end, you would like the film. So.
I would check it out. Like, but I'm there, man. Any future award shows to roast, any chance to roast Hollywood, consider me there. I'll get my fluffy thrifted tuxedo shirt with my Doctor Who bow tie and my horse-haired blazer and my bowler cap, and we will go. We will do it again. Lord Baratheon is back. No, go ahead.
No, just seeing everybody dressed up was awesome. It was great.
That was, well, I saw it. So I ended my final Frontiers, and I was about to jump on. I'm like, everybody's dressed up. Shit. So I ran downstairs and just threw something on.
It was awesome. I loved it, man. Thank you.
My wife's like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm like, I'm getting dressed up for a stream. Since when? Lord Baratheon for $19.99. Hey, hail. Lord, you are the king of the seven kingdoms, the rightful king of the seven kingdoms, the protector of the realm. If Disney wants D+ to do well, then maybe they should start hiring more experienced talent. There's a rumor going around that for one of their Marvel shows, they want to hire HBO creatives. Yeah, if you want to produce like objectively good content, even I don't like all of it, but HBO is the king, because they took a BBC model, which was shorter series, shorter maxi series, and perfected it over time with The Sopranos and Deadwood, one of the greatest shows ever made. Carnival, oh my God, such a good show that got killed early. Freaking Rome is fantastic. Just talking about it makes me want to watch like Spartacus and Rome, which it wasn't HBO, but Spartacus and Rome and Deadwood, especially. Deadwood is just the shit. Yeah, so they know what they're doing. That's how House of the Dragon became like the biggest surprise to me still. It's a really good show. It's got a couple of moments in it, but it doesn't take down the show. Disney just canceled Willow, and thank you, Lord Baratheon, for the $19.99. Appreciate you. Disney just and yeah, if Disney, well, let me read the super chat and then I'll pose a question to you, Chris. Ryan for 20 British pounds. Disney just canceled Willow after one season. Iger is moving fast and taking out the guillotine only because he has to, but I still have no faith in that dude. I think they'll continue to make woke as shit content. I mean, The Little Mermaid is coming out. Snow White is still happening. And not that I'll discuss the cultural vandalism that is The Little Mermaid. I don't really care about the animated show because I'm a grown adult and I was when it came out and I didn't have kids, so I never watched it. And I'm not going to watch this. But I understand the cultural vandalism that's going on. And it's also just creatively bankrupt as hell. Like, let's remake all our freaking animated movies. And they're not doing well, by the way. Lion King did well, but that was Trump economy. So, Chris, as the companies recognize that going woke made them broke, and they start to make, I don't know if you can hear my wife. My wife just got back from surgery. She's all doped up, and she's out in the home theater laughing her ass off at something. It's kind of funny. Great. And so the question I have for you is, like Picard is a good example of, it was Kurtzman Trek, total shit show, absolute shit show, absolute garbage. Then they make this anomaly of a series that's really fun. As Disney does that, now people can make the Andor argument, but I'm going to make the argument that wasn't fun. It was boring as hell. They need to do a little better than that, but at least they tried to take Star Wars seriously. I'll give you that. As this happens more, Chris, do you think it's just too little too late? I think it will create very interesting conversations in the fandom. What say you on how much this is going to happen, and what happens if, it's met with negativity, even if they're trying?
It's interesting. I think the thing is that as these things repeat, like when you look at the Peter Pan and Wendy trailer, where finally the people, the woke are turning on it, saying like it's lazy to just race swap Tinkerbell, an icon, and was, and has been used in in all sorts of Disney marketing forever, right? So people are just starting to notice, who should have noticed a long time ago, that this stuff is just, it's so cliche and lazy. That's not a creative decision. A creative decision would be taking an original African fable and turning that into an animated story, something that no one had ever heard of. Make it more authentic, right? But it's got to make money at the end of the day. I just don't see how you do it. I think it's too little too late for Disney. I think the brands of Marvel and Star Wars are tarnished beyond repair. The only way to fix that, which is why George Lucas was so smart, he just made it go away. I'm going to make you forget about it. It's going to be 10 years from now, and you're going to want Star Wars so bad you'll take anything, even not very good Star Wars. But the constant outflow has numbed people to the point where this latest episode, which I haven't finished watching it, episode 3, is just, it's awful. But the thing that is almost impossible to fix is the culture. You would have to fire so many people. You would have to do a gutting of the company, like what Elon Musk did to Twitter, to be able to remove the voices that are loud and suggesting terrible decisions that will take the company down the road to being in the red. We saw like glimpses of some of those people, and there's a culture war happening within Disney itself. And I just don't know who has the backbone to be able to fix it, or to even be on. Here's what bothers me is I don't feel like we can have honest conversations about anything. I mean, I feel like I can have that here with you, knowing you, but like an honest conversation about quality, merit, something made money or didn't. It's the idea that like we're going to suppress it and put out like the story or the narrative we're over it. It's been exposed. We don't believe it anymore.
Yeah. And as I've stated before, people have talked to you, people have talked to me who work in these, and they're not just PAs. Okay. I truly wish I am begging for them to come out and say it themselves.
Yeah.
But I understand why they can't, because they will lose their careers right now. Cause you just said you can't have an honest conversation in Hollywood. You just can't. Why this shit's not changing. And there's people who are desperate for it to happen, but you're probably going to have to just go out on your own. That's I think change is coming. I think Russell T Davies recently just came out and said, I just directed the best episode of Doctor Who ever and wrote the best Doctor. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. But none of these people, nobody deserves the benefit of the doubt, not after the way they have treated the paying customer. It's one thing to make bad shit. It's another thing to blame the paying customer for it. That's a whole new era of Hollywood that we've had for years, and it is costing them, and they will never, and I repeat, never recover from it. Told you. Freaking told you. So here we got the creative masterpiece that is the live action CGI remake, Identity Politics Little Mermaid, and it's getting destroyed again. Okay, so the 719,000 dislikes is an estimate, and I have gone through, because not everybody can see the dislike button. So the people are so pissed, they don't care if they can see this or not. They dislike it. You need an extension, which is an algorithm. Disbrew's gone over it. It tends to estimate low. So it's more than that. It's much more.
I just have to believe that there are smart people in these organizations. A company like Disney doesn't become successful like this with all dumb people. But the problem is, just having worked in the corporate world myself, I know you have as well, Gary, you are surrounded by idiots sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
You are surrounded by idiots that waste your time. I'm like a guy that, like, when I was in the corporate space, it's like, I'm here to work. You guys can all go and have the little birthday celebrate. I was focused on the work. Why? I wanted to get home to my kids. Yep. I didn't want to work until all hours of the night because I had a life outside of work. So, but you are surrounded and dragged by people that, are underperformers or focus on the wrong things. Did you see the thing that came out? There was a viral, I don't know what it was, a viral video of a woman just saying, look, if you have pronouns in your bio, I'm not going to bring you into my company.
Yeah, I did.
I don't want to work with you. Yeah,
I would feel the same way. If I worked at the comic store in San Francisco and somebody put pronouns on their bio, I wouldn't hire them at the comic store.
Yeah.
Because it sounds like a problem.
It sounds like you're going to be a problem. You're going to make things about you. You're going to be like starting conversations that have nothing to do with why we're all here, which is working. Right. And I might not have even thought about that like a couple of years ago. Like, look, I want people, when I moved to California from Detroit, and I'm pretty normal looking dude, but I've got friends of all, I've had friends who are musicians, filmmakers, actors, like, what, let your freak flag fly, be who you are. It's fine. I have no problem with it. But now it's become an identity that everyone needs to pay attention to. And I don't care. It's like, it's sort of like when you see like certain types of, like when everyone who's goth dresses the same way. And frankly, I like some goth music. I like some Smiths and some, I like some of stuff, but I have black nail polish or, you know what I mean? Like if I ever dress like that, it'd be like for fun, kind of whatever, but not like as any serious daily look for me. I'm, whatever, but it's like when it just gets in the way of things.
Metal, Typo Negative, great band.
Yeah, exactly. No, I like a lot of. I like a lot of weird music shit.
Susie and the Banshees. Hell yeah.
I'm seeing Susie and the Banshees at the Rose Bowl.
Early Cure. Pretty poppy.
Yeah, early Cure. Robert Smith,
Robert Smith, that guy's he's funny as hell. He's funny as hell.
Yeah, but there's just something now, like I feel like we've gotten to the point where just like I don't want to be around people that are just going to cause problems. I see like Eric July, which I love Eric July. Shout out to him. How people that come after him, he goes back after them twice as hard and calls them out on their BS. But I'm surprised people. Why would you attack this guy?
Tweeted about him today.
Who? What's that?
You saw what was tweeted about him today? Clifton Duncan retweeted. I can't put it up. I can't put it up.
Oh no. Oh God. I gotta go to Clifton.
Foul. It is disgusting. But that's what? That's The people who claim to be progressive, those who shout the most have the most to hide. Said some pretty horrible things, but Eric can take it. Eric, this is fun. This is playtime for Eric. So, hail Isom, by the way. Hail Eric July and the Rippaverse. So yeah, this movie is getting just destroyed. I didn't see Peter Pan and Wendy. Is that getting? That's got to be getting ratioed.
No. For sure it is.
That's got to be getting ratioed. Let's see. I just don't want to show everybody how bad I spell. Pan and Wendy.
Hey, quick side note. Did you hear about the rumor for Quentin Tarantino's final film?
I heard it. He picked his final film. I don't know what. Oh, yeah. Oh,
it's The Movie Critic.
Oh, no. Is it like talk radio for movies?
No. It's called The Movie Critic. It's set in the 70s, and it's loosely based on Pauline Kael. I don't know if you know Pauline Kael from the 70s. I grew up reading Pauline Kael. Didn't understand half of what I was reading, but it just, was so exciting. Like that she just introduced, she was one of the most exciting people to read about film. I love and revered her. There's a documentary about her, and it appears as if that's going to be his final movie. Is called The Movie Critic. There's already a script, and they're going out to talent, and to read it, you have to go to like Quentin Tarantino's manager's office. You sit in the room, you read it, and you walk out. They're not sending the script out to anyone. You have to physically, just for secrecy, he doesn't send scripts to anybody. You got to come to him, you read it, and you don't leave with the script.
Smart, considering what Marvel's trying to do. We'll talk about that. Disney and Marvel.
It's such a great topic for a movie because I saw Tarantino once when they asked him what's his favorite. He's made movies set in different eras, right? Different times. And he said, what's your favorite era to make a film? And he goes, anything before cell phones.
Yeah, I totally disagree with him. He said the 50s and the 80s are the worst eras for movies. Dead wrong.
Yeah, I don't agree with that.
The 50s and now and the 80s were fucking brilliant. So much creativity. My kid was just before the show was watching Legend. I freaking love Legend, dude. I love Ridley Scott's Legend. Love that movie. It's visually a masterpiece. The story's a little light, but the visuals and the costumes and the practical effects and Tim Curry as darkness, the shit. Like they don't make movies that look like that today. But yeah, I like some of Quentin. I'm kind of like hit and miss on Quentin now. Like Grindhouse. Planet Terror was shit. Yeah. But Death Proof was garbage, dude. It was terrible. I freaking hated it.
But wait. So what? Oh my God. 405,000 downvotes.
405,000 downvotes to 44,000 upvotes on a video with 3 million views. 3.2 for one. 3.2 million is really fucking low for a trailer. Especially when it's getting embedded on other websites, so they're getting a lot of the bullshit views. But Disney is freaking dead. So they're so dead now, Chris. They're going after Reddit.
Oh, I saw that.
Going after Reddit. Could you find that article, Garrett, where they're going after fucking Reddit because Reddit's leaked, I guess, a script for the subtitles, right? So on its whole, they have a right to do that. Like somebody took some proprietary information and leaked it on Reddit. It wasn't just some guy talking about that. But here's the deal. Here's the rub. They're trying to make this an excuse for Ant-Man failing. That's exactly what they're doing. They're lashing out. It doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter. Entire Game of Thrones episodes would leak a week early. I know because I was on the Free Folk Reddit and I watched them. And you know what? HBO didn't give a shit. They were a little angry, but didn't affect the ratings of Game of Thrones. You want to know why? Because back in the early days, it was good. People freaking liked it. The entire 8th season freaking leaked. Dialogue leaked. Rise of Skywalker leaked. We've had leaks forever. And we've never openly had a company like trying to take shit down, but now Disney wants to do it over Ant-Man. Ant-Man.
Yeah,
It's a trilogy. It's a bad trilogy. Listen, the Ant-Man and the Wasp suck too. Okay, but the Quantumania sucks worse. So Disney is hunting for whoever leaked the Ant-Man script. Google, Reddit, subpoenaed to turn over data on script posting. Script was leaked weeks before film release in Europe and Asia. And as pointed out by my friends who covered this and were affected by this, Last of Us 2 leaked. And as they said in all of their videos, it wasn't the leak itself, it's the content of the leak. Sorry, if you're watching Last of Us, you didn't play the games, you might want to do some earmuffs right now because you're going to get some spoilers. So I'll count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Joel gets a 5-iron over his head, and then you play as the character who kills him. And they knew it was a bait and switch. Plus, they were deceiving you. They, being Naughty Dog, were deceiving you. They aged up Joel to make it look like he's in more of the game than he is from a cutscene in the game. So yeah, they lie all the time, and it's not the content of the leaks. They don't affect anything. If your shit's good, it won't be affected. Remember when Game of Thrones used to brag that it's the most pirated show on the planet?
Yeah.
You think Top Gear cared if people were pirating Top Gear, which was the real biggest show on the planet for a long time until BBC screwed it up? Oh, people from the BBC are going on strike now, so they're defunding themselves. Couldn't happen to a nicer network. Fuck you, BBC. Walt Disney Company is hunting for whoever is responsible for distributing and then unleashing the script of its latest Marvel blockbuster, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania. The entertainment giant was granted subpoenas Monday, ordering Alphabet Incorporated, Google, and Reddit to turn over the data they have that would identify the person or persons who posted the script on their sites. The companies must turn over the information by March 24th at the San Francisco office of Disney's lawyers. We fuck them and how, according to the subpoenas. It's not really the lawyer's name. They're Chinese lawyers. I'm going to get in trouble for that. Scroll down. I can't see anything, Garrett. I see. Zoom, zoom, zoom. What the fuck? What's the matter? I don't see anything. Okay. Hey, they're going to go after him. Doesn't matter. So Disney wants private information over these leak script. And the problem is with this is there might be a lot of collateral damage. Like once it's out there by the first, it would only be the first user who would be in violation. Because once it's on the platform and you share it, you can get DMCA'd, you can have the thing taken down, but they can't really go after them for culpability, can they? Because you can't unmake the soup. Once it's on the internet, it's on the internet, right? Yeah. So obviously I'm not a lawyer. Take this to, Ricada, Legal Mindset, one of those two cats. But what do you think about Disney going after Reddit? Chris?
I think, look, there are people who are within those organizations that are doing the leaks, right? I mean, that happened with The Rise of Skywalker when you kind of couldn't believe it, and then it all turned out to be true. And this has happened. I mean, as you pointed out, Game of Thrones, they're trying to shut down people within a company. And I like to think that some of those people within the company actually are fans that are disheartened with the way things are going. But God, I hope Reddit just says no. Otherwise, no user's information is safe at all.
Yep. I don't F around on Reddit anyway because it's lame. Yeah. But I don't think they'll be able to do jack squat. That's my personal opinion, but we'll see. It is I think it's just funny. I think it's just funny. Where did that article go? Oh, it doesn't matter. We don't need that. I need something else. Hey, Chris, you got to go stream, so we'll let you go.
Yeah,
we'll let you go.
Cool.
I'm going to stay and read
just want to say, appreciate it. I just want to say thank you, Gary. Thank you, X-Ray Girl and Garrett hanging in the back. Always love to spend my Wednesday morning with. It's morning for me, but and also just hail to the chat. They've been so supportive. I was up late last night just finishing up last details so we can get Attack of the Doc on video on demand. It'll be out next month. We're doing a special screening in Santa Ana, California, and tickets. I think tickets are on sale today. So there you go.
What's the date on that special screening?
Friday, April 21st. We're doing a special screening, 2 screenings actually, of Attack of the Doc. Appreciate it. I just put a link in if you want to share it. So, but tickets are on sale now, and there's limited seats. So it'll be fun because it's going to be something of a reunion of sorts. People who worked on the doc, and then some other people from G4. We'll see. It should be very interesting. A lot of fun.
I'll be arriving in Vegas that day.
Yeah, you're going to be in Vegas. I think you're in Vegas the 24th, actually. So
I'm in Vegas 21st through 28th, and you're going to come out too. You're coming. Well, you're coming, dude. I don't want to hear it.
Chris, you have to come, please.
All right, we'll talk about it. But
Did Chris Gore go to the Vegas meetup? Oh, we just lost that.
Look, I want to go. I really want to go. I'll be in the middle of. I really just want people to see this movie, because the thing that's dragged it so long is like the legal clearances and the hoops we've had to jump through with lawyers is just insane. And people don't understand. Yeah. It's like, I want to legally release the movie so everyone can see it, so I won't be sued for having made it, and that it can be on as many platforms as possible. That's not an easy thing to do. And even though, we kind of finished Lock to Cut like back in like October, like there's so much work to releasing a movie. I don't know what to say. Like, I feel like I just want people to see it. So I hope you come out.
I've seen it. It's good.
It's going to be a lot of fun. It's very different than the cut that you saw in San Diego, Gary. It's evolved. It's different. I'm proud of it, and I hope it begins a conversation. Cool. But I got a bolt film thread live stream at 1 p.m. Pacific time, 4 p.m. Eastern, and whatever it is Central. I can't do math. All right. Take care, Gary.
Take care, brother. Love you, man.
All right,
talk to you next Wednesday. Thanks for being here.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Chris Gore, ladies and gentlemen. Great Chris Gore. Nerd legend. Love that guy.
And chat says we should kidnap him and bring him to Vegas.
I will. I can do it. Oh, shit. I'll just, you know what? I'll get Shane from the podcast. He's a big dude. And I'll just,
and Max MVP.
Max, yeah, we'll get Shane, Max, and they'll kidnap Chris Gore. Won't have a chance. He just won't have a chance. Throw him in a trunk, straight up hangover style.
Yes.
And we'll do that. All right. Chats, ladies and gentlemen. Skyrunner for 10 British pounds. Mr. Gore, how would one become the type of influential director that can create the classic films we used to be without studio test audience influence? What would it take? Lots of gumption, my friend. You would have to get in the independent sphere, promote yourself, and be really effing good. But I'm sure that's what he would tell you. He would also have a lot of advice when it comes to, I bet if you don't have to give the super chat, but maybe I can slip that question to him so he can answer it on the Film Threat live stream. The Grizzly for $20. I'm from Michigan, but am moving to Ron DeSantis land. Good move. I just can't stand the state anymore. The weather would be a little better, a little hotter, but a lot less cold. We've been run over by New York on the east side and Chicago on the west side. A whole bunch of summer vacation homes became permanent. Yep. The Grizzly for $20. I believe it's not too late for entertainment to improve in general, but it is beyond late for Hollywood. It will have to be a competitor for movies like Daily Wire, but not those guys specifically, maybe Epic Verse Films. Yeah, there needs to be like, well, there is competitors to Bollywood in India. There needs to be like Atlanta is kind of like Hollywood East, but maybe it could become its own thing. And I know they've tried to do stuff here in Texas as well, but like they got 100 years on everybody. That's the problem. Steve Watson for 30 British pounds. Picard 3 is Frankentrek. Script is great. Acting plus interaction is great. Titan should be bright white. It looks like an unpainted 60s frog kit. Don't have any lighting budget. The spy bullocks with Worf. Cut that shit. I like it at the end because I like Worf. I really like Worf. And as far as lighting, yeah, it could have been lit a little lighter, but you know what? I don't have a problem with it if I have interesting characters and if it's Star Trek. It's like, yeah, I would love the cussing to be gone and for it to be a little brighter, but I can say without a doubt, hang on. That's all I'll say. For one of those criticisms, hang on. Came in late, so not sure if you talked about your top 5. Loved your top 5 Marvel MCU failures for Phase 4. Phase 4 made me laugh and was spot on. Cheers. Thank you. I appreciate that. JTP Rex for $25. If anybody hasn't seen it yet, we released another top 5 it was kind of a no-brainer that now the Phase 4 is over. We brought a team together to pick over the corpse and figure out what the worst of the worst was. Some people agree, some people don't, but that's okay. I encourage you to make your own top 5 in the comment section. Absolutely encourage it. Shirley SOB, $20 on the Streamlabs side. Circumventing Papa Susan. I'm 6'3" and 270 pounds. If you need an extra hand kidnapping Chris Gore, okay, we will send you an email. We'll just dominate him.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mega YouTube 99 for $1.99. Kira's back. Was it Kira?
I thought it was Kira Lynn.
Kira Lynn. Kira.
I wasn't there. Well, I mean, I was there, I guess, but
she was
I didn't
cool.
hear her.
She hung. Like me and Az were going pretty hard, and she was able to hang.
Good.
Like a good one. So she's
banter.
She's cool beans. Yeah.
Love
she's
that.
Cool beans. Andrew, kind of like you, unflappable. I like that. Andrew Montepetit. $5. Montepetit. My favorite part of the Oscar stream was the surprise appearance of X-Ray Girl. There you go. B Buster for $2. Can X-Ray Girl eat some wings? That's what Kira did. Naso Kashev for 10 Martian pesos. Hey guys, heard a rumor that RRR won the Oscar. Chris Gore went off screen and went to pond and started feeding a certain type of aquatic bird. Yes, when RRR won its first Oscar, Chris Gore did indeed go off screen for about 38 seconds. He did. Gary, I got my wizard and hot dog plushies last Monday. Ram Bam 3,000 for 5 British pounds. Awesome. Did you post it on Twitter? We're trying to I'll retweet some of those. I will retweet some of those.
I saw Garrett got his.
Oh, good. Garrett finally got his.
Yeah.
All right, that's enough of that. Tim France for $5. Hail, Gary, Chris, and X-Ray Girl. I went to an AA meeting to support my friend for her 1 year sober and now understand some of the titles you use. There you go. There you go. Like Fellowship. Yeah, I mean, it's a dual title. But the Fellowship of AA and the Fellowship of the Ring are certainly two of the inspirations. Eddie from Outer Space for 5 British pounds. Gary, greetings from Germany. Hey, Chris, I know you from Star Trek Continues. It was my first time seeing you. How did the cameo happen? Hail, panel, and chat. We need to save that for when he's back. I should have asked him when he was here. Sorry about that. Star Trek Continues rules. And the sets are amazing and the lighting is amazing. Hail, Gary, loved your cameo on Walt Disney's Disenchanted Kingdom on Prime Video. Finally starting to say what you've been calling for years. What cameo? Zatina for $4.99.
Is it actually him?
No, it couldn't be. Walt Disney's Disenchanted Kingdom. It must have been some person who looked like me. I was not aware. I do have a cameo in the boys comics. I'm in those. I'm in Happy too. But yeah, maybe it was just somebody who, we are hearing some of our criticisms in the mainstream now, which is good. Which is good. But I'm not aware of being cameoing in anything. Sorry I'm late. Did you tell Chris Gore your thoughts on RRR? Did you like Stark? Oh my God, Matthew, you got me. He's not going to let it go. I have to get to work on another video. I'll watch the first 2 episodes tonight, Matthew, and I will, in the members section, I will by Sunday, I'll give you a quick review. Okay? By Sunday. You got me by Sunday. Matthew Hammond, thank you for the $10. Bless you, my friend. Love you. Sorry. I kind of forgot I was going to Joe Rogan yesterday until like last minute. I had all this stuff planned. I'm like, oh shit, I'm going to Austin on Tuesday. I can't do that. Edgewise CL for $10. You guys should watch Primal and talk about it. Good ass Conan style fantasy with dinos. I love Primal. I have talked about it in the past. Bradley Burnett for $10. Maybe someday I'll do a full review. The first full review, I got to do my Picard stuff, and then I'm doing Daredevil. Bradley Burnett for $10. I'm watching Mando to do reviews of it because I guess I like to torture myself in this 52-minute show. Yeah, it's a long one. Mando is only in it for 12 minutes on his own. Well, on the positive, booked my tickets for Vegas. Hell yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we're getting prepared. We're getting prepared. We've got a lot of things like the venue is set. I think we need to get the taco truck, but I don't think that'll be any trouble. And then we're discussing, I think we should do a powwow of like what other like peripheral stuff we can do.
Yeah.
And it would just be a situation of just meet us here and hopefully we won't dominate the place. But I want to go bowling. I know Garrett's talking about, other things. I'll just say other things.
Comic shop. Oh, and
comic shop hunting. Yeah.
Yes. Get Chrissy Mayer's tickets on the next day. It's probably on her website, chrissymayer.com, because we'll be there.
That's going to be another meetup. I mean, it won't be as meetup-y and prepared for it, but we'll be there. We could probably hang out in the parking lot.
Hang out, yep.
But like for the meetup with food and drinks and places to sit and chill, you could smoke outside. A lot of people just sit outside in front the whole time, which is great. There's a parking lot. It's a fun place. And Alex is one cool Frenchman. He's a cool dude. He's down with us. He like last year somebody tried to call in a threat. He's like, fuck that. So good for him. Yeah. Alex is good people. The truth of it, for 10 British pounds, we are being programmed to back the Jonathan Majors Donnie. He is a plant. He's been here for 5 or 6 years. He told me, the main man, laugh my ass off. Ant-Man flopped. He is awful. Kang. In fact, Majors ruined the MCU. He wasn't good as the Kang, he who remains in Loki. I said it then. I'll say it now. It was horrible performance. He was fine in Ant-Man. He's getting horribly overpraised because of the soft bigotry of low expectations. He's a good actor. I heard he was good in Creed 3. But slow your roll. You just introduced your next big baddie in a flop. In a flop, which means, are you going to stick with this? Back in normal times, they wouldn't. But I think Disney will. They've painted themselves into an identity politics corner.
And like your movie is as strong as your script. So,
yep. Absolutely. And that script was written by another. out of our top 5, 3 of the 5 were written by Rick and Morty writers. I'm sensing a pattern. Bobby Nolan for $10. Hey, Gary, have you ever considered having Andrew Clavin on as a guest on a Nooner? I would absolutely have Andrew Clavin on. Absolutely. I believe he's on. I watch his videos. So he's part of the Blaze or Daily, one of the two. I don't know the difference between the two. But I like Andrew Clavin. He's a very sensible, common sense kind of dude. So absolutely. Oh, he's Daily Wire, but he is former Hollywood and fantasy fiction author who plays games. You want to reach out to him, X-Ray Girl? Let's reach out to Andrew.
I'm finding his Twitter right now. So
yeah, I think it would be really fun. We're reaching out to a lot. We're gonna swing for the fences on some stuff. We're gonna get no's, but I'm gonna try. I was invited on the Pop Culture War. Mary and Brett, they're part of the Timcast. I couldn't make it because it's before Vegas. I can't go anywhere. I mean, I that's why I didn't go to MegaCon, because it's just too close to Vegas and I need to stay home and work. And my mom and family and all this stuff. So yeah, we're probably gonna have to move my mom, which could be a fucking nightmare. But the place she's at's like, they just raised because they're in California. They just raised the price $1,000, dude. $1,000. I'm like, oh no. And they give her like less care now. So I'm like, yeah, just came out of nowhere because I paid my mom's rent, and that is helped by all of you guys. Thank you for giving my mom a comfortable place. I really do appreciate that. It's thanks a lot to your support. He's so yeah, we'll get him on. Blanco Boy for $9.99. People excited for Civil War, but I get distracted so much. But the Pop Culture War, I'll probably go on later. I like Mary and Brett. I talked to Brett the most when I was at the compound. Really cool dude, knowledgeable, cool dude, and Mary's funny. I like her. Blanco Boy for $9.99. People excited for Civil War like Tim Pool are generally childless and bored. Marriage and children make people think more long term. I mean, you not with every parent. Okay, let's be real. But with a lot of us, yes, it does kick in. There is like an instinct, a gene that kicks in that makes you think about something other than yourself. With Tim, I mean, he's not super young and he's seen shit. Like he's gone out and reported and seen shit. But I think a lot of the commenters, and listen, this isn't a criticism. It's just an observation. Okay. So if any of the other pundits want to get butthurt about this, that's on you. Cause I'm not saying is it a criticism. I'm just saying it as a observation. A lot of them went straight from school to either Hollywood or to these pundit positions, and they haven't worked. And if you have worked the 40-hour job and busted your balls, then I'm not talking about you. But the vast majority of them are just college educated, went right to entertainment, went right into punditry, and didn't go out and bust their ass at a 40 to 50 to 60-hour job welding or selling auto parts or working on a car or multiple jobs, multiple careers, multiple businesses before they went into punditry. You can tell the ones who have. You can absolutely tell the ones who have. And again, it's not really a judgment or a criticism. It's just an observation. That's why my personal preference, I stay within I subscribe to a ton of channels. The vast majority is in our sphere. The size of the channel is no aspect. I'm watching streams with 6 people in it, and I think they're really good streams. And a lot of these guys and gals are criminally undersubbed, but that's the YouTube algorithm because they mainly stream. They don't do videos, but the streams are still entertaining and good. I love my boy Sporking. I think he has some fun. He's a little kooky, but it's a fun stream. I mean, he's retarded, but everybody else on the stream is fine. I'm just kidding, Scott. I love you. My sober brother. But yeah, you know, and I always bring up my boy Culture Casino. You know, I watch all of his stuff. And I find that the most informative because these are people who have done things in their lives before this. I found that problem in the comic industry too. I found that the better comic shop owners, not always, but it just seemed to would be the ones who did shit before they sold comics. Jamie Newbold being the greatest example. He has managed properties. He was a cop. He's lived a freaking entire life before he went and owned a comic shop, and he owns one of the best, in my opinion. Southern California Comics in San Diego, California. Bass player 2011 Iffy for $10. She can't sing. Why can't they find a decent actress that can sing? It's not hard. Send some scouts to your local Broadway shows and scout some talent. Man, throw a rock up in the air in Hollywood. You'll find somebody who can sing. You can. There's a lot of young ladies who can sing really well. Yeah, there's no shortage of that. Always swing for the fences for your guests. I know without that midweek hump wouldn't do so well. Love you, Gary, and the rest of the fellowship. I will see you in Vegas, says Horror Amarada. You see what I did there?
Hey.
I got it.
So you're actually going. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm glad she's going. Is Sheep going? I don't want to hear any fucking excuses from Sheep Cityan. That's another guy I'll go and kidnap. And I don't care what the optics of a white guy going to kidnap a black guy. I don't even care. I will just kidnap him.
Horror Amarado, help us kidnap Sheep City.
Yeah, see? I'm not worried about optics. This is for the fandom. For the fandom. Just heard about your mom. Mine was in Alzheimer's care, and I was paying her bills as well, and I know it sucks. Here's a little help. Oh, you didn't have to do that. Thank you. Keep up the good work, Gary. X-Ray girl, love you both. Thank you, Radio Man 1017. For $10. Thank you. Sorry about your mom. Yeah, my mom's I have two. Okay, you want to hear what a shitty son I am? My mom's birthday was 3 days ago. I'm gonna call her today because I suck. So I'm gonna apologize to that mom. And yeah, but my other mom is suffering from a bit of dementia. And
that's tough.
Yeah.
It's really tough.
Fat Steven Seagal, what's up, brother? $2.20. That's Canadian peso. Says Gotham Knights, Gary. Gothma Knights. I saw your clip, bro. Holy shit. Is that it's everything? As I hope at least you'll cover this. I know you don't want to cover Batwoman, but for the love of God, Az, get your video out now. Have you heard of the Hutchison effect on John Hutchinson? No, John F. For $5. What's that? I don't know. I'll have to look that up. Bearded physicist for $5. What do you all think? What do you all think of getting Jordan Peterson on either the Real BBC or FNT? I know his thing is more policy than pop culture, but it would be cool. That'd probably be better for me one-on-one. Real BBC is pure pop culture. Yes, we'll, because we're just talking. We're just guys talking. We'll bring in the politics once in a while, but we will always read back to pop culture, and we're going to do the same thing with FNT. We got Benny on, but we're going to talk about culture in Hollywood. We will not be discussing, we'll discuss Silicon Valley Bank as it pertains to Hollywood, sure, certainly. But whatever behind it, I don't know. It's just, we're mainly supposed to be entertainment and escapism, and part of that is laughing at woke Hollywood. But I would talk to him one-on-one, sure. I don't think he'd, slum around with a guy like me, but I watch his stuff on Joe Rogan, and I like a lot of what he has to say, and I think he had a hard time with drugs, which is very sad, and I have great empathy for. I'm glad he beat it. Chris for $5. Disney ruined what happened to Mandalore. Yeah, dude. Read John Jackson Miller's Knights of the Old Republic, and you'll see what I mean. Oh, I know about Knights of the Old Republic, and yes, they have ruined Mandalore permanently. For one, Bo-Katan is sitting in this empty kingdom with like a robot. Like, where's everybody else? Kyle Denson for $4.99. I just started watching Star Wars for the first time. Oh, wow. Starting with The New Hope. Starting with the original trilogy. Yeah, you could end there and you're fine. And it's called Star Wars. I know a lot of people call it New Hope. Kyle, enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself. I wouldn't go to the Disney trilogy though. I would stop after the prequels. After the prequels, watch the Tartakovsky Clone Wars. You're good. Right there. There's a lot of books you can read though. A lot of good books. Ryan, I think he heard I don't want to miss. Maybe I didn't. Ryan, correct me if I'm wrong. I think he said didn't like Dark Empire. I fucking love Dark Empire. Dark Empire should have been the sequel. That should have been the sequel trilogy. It was the shit. It's a fully voiced audio drama on Audible. If you want to hear it, Dark Empire is the shit. Sensei and Jazzy for $2. Gary is culturally insensitive for not watching RRR. You're right. You're right. I will fix it. As is Wonky Eyebrow for £2 British. Apparently, Willow just got canceled. Yes, it did. Angry Yeti TV on the Streamlabs side for $5. As a fellow Texan, you are absolutely right. Austin is a shithole, and it has been for a while. Also, I would like to send out a shout out to Jaloja for gifting me a Nerdrotic membership. Shout a Jaloja. I've wanted to buy one for a while, but lack the money. So thank you. Look at that. Angry. Welcome. And thank you to everyone who donated memberships. You are brilliant people. Subtle Deviancy. Thank you for the $1.99 donation. Nothing to say, but thank you for the support. We appreciate it. Subtle Deviancy. It's not so subtle anymore, though. I mean, yours might be, but the world's. Scott Weeks, thank you for the $5 donation. I appreciate it. Eddie from Outer Space is back with £2 British. Episode of STC White Iris, I think. STC. Star Trek. Oh, Star Trek continues. White Iris. Yeah. Oh, I don't know the episode title. Wow. We'll look it up next time. Hey, friends, I currently have a film at South by Southwest. Since I have been here, I am reminded of my privilege. I never remember film being this way, says Thor's World for $5. Good luck with your film. Best of luck, my friend. And yeah, it's all about your privilege. Oh, my God.
It's your privilege.
But best of luck, Thor. What's the name of it? What's the name of it? You could just put it in the chat. Don't put a super chat. If you see it, X-Ray Girl, let me know.
I'll keep an eye out.
Keep an eye. So that was from Thor's World, if you still watch it. Or it's she. I guess I shouldn't assume anything these days, should I? Farron for £5 British. Jodorowsky not being able to make Dune gave us the Meta Barons and Inkle. You are correct, and those are awesome. If you have not picked up, I can never pronounce his last name, but Jodorowsky has Jodorowsky. I'm always saying it wrong, but there is specific volumes now of his work. So there's a library of his work that you can pick up. I picked some up in Burbank last time I was there, and it's fucking amazing. Meta Barons is shit. French comics rule now. Those are my favorite comics. Those are absolutely, positively my favorite thing in the world is when it comes to comics. They're doing fun, weird. It's a good mix of new and old and being hardcore and not giving a shit. And I got to credit Razor Fist for really steering me. I mean, I knew I've read Meta Barons and Inkall before, but like I'm diving deep into stuff, and I wish more was translated. You know, they're translating the shit out of manga. We need the French stuff to get translated because it's great. Willow was short-lived, says 200 Watt Studio. I'm going to give you you earned it there. Mum's Fund. Bashy Wash, you did not have to do that, man. Thank you. $100 for the Mom Fund. Hail, Bashy Wash, and bless you. It will go directly to her. Oh, we're gonna move her out of Texas. She didn't want to move to Texas. She's just like, no, it's hot there. I'm like, you don't go outside. Don't go outside.
Well, also, if she has a bit of dementia, moving into a different situation is really tough on them.
Yeah, we're gonna have to like rent a special van, like a special, like basically a motorhome. And yeah, it's good. I don't even know. I'm gonna think about it after Vegas, one thing at a time. But yeah, I don't even know how we're gonna do it. The reality, the Civil War stuff is we live in such obnoxious luxury. People have forgotten what true strife is. Sadly, I don't think there is any pulling back unless undeniable reality hits people in the face hard. And that is Domikazi for $20. You are correct. I've always said we live in a massively, if not aside from some pure lily white European countries, we live in the absolute most affluence of any other country. And we have gotten soft. We are 2 generations separated from the greatest generation. And before that, it was the Depression. These people, like my dad, lived through real strife, like real freaking strife. I have no idea what my dad went through. But I can understand if you're young and you haven't seen a lot of the world. And again, this isn't a judgment. It's just an observation. You eventually will. Some of you will go and see some of the world and get some of the perspective we have when we're older. It all happens in time. I didn't have it at that age. I was a dumb motherfucker when I was in my 20s. But you hear, you cut off the news in your life and you just look at your surroundings. And it's like the banks, it's people are talking about it at work. It's going to affect things. We all knew this was coming. They printed too much money and shut our fucking economy down for over a year in some states. Of course this was going to happen. It had to happen. And if it didn't happen, things will get worse. It had to happen. But are we going to all start fighting each other? I mean, this was a subject Dave Chappelle brought up last night, and he definitely, like, his perspective, like the only thing I totally disagree with him with is, he said Biden's a bumbling moron, but he's just an old guy who took a call to action. I'm like, fucking what? Are you kidding me? No, it's corruption. Your boy Bernie got screwed over and allowed it to happen when he got paid off. And it was corruption. It was fortification. Come on, Dave, you know better. You're just taking a side there. I love you, Dave, but you know better. Of all people, you know better. But when it comes to like us fight, we're still countrymen. We still need to be countrymen. Where would the split be? Where would the divorce happen? I know Joe Rogan and Michael Malice were talking about Texit, and people have talked to me about it too. That it can't happen. We're too integral. Plus, we're not even close to being. Go outside. I go outside. I see my neighbor. We wave. We're walking our dogs. We're doing normal shit. I don't see society collapsing. And we just made it through the government being shut down. Yes, there's going to be a correction, and it's going to be fucked up. And you know who's going to get screwed? You and me. You and me. Working people. The working people and the poor people are going to get screwed. The rich people will be just fucking fine. Andrew Montpetit for $20. Not much, but for not much, but for the mom fund. Keep up the great work. Oh, thank you, Andrew. Dude, that's awesome. Thank you. Put it towards the mom fund. Eric Pipes for $5. And thank you, Andrew. Sorry for messing up your last name. Although I can relax and like Mando enjoy it, I was reminded of Lassie watching Grogu run off for help. Yeah, I know, right? And if you enjoy it, that's cool. Like, don't let me ruin your enjoyment ever for anything. I've said that many times. I speak my mind, but if you like something, fucking like it. Life's short. Critical meme theory for $19.99 for the mom fund. Bless you, Gary, and your mom. Oh, thank you for Thank you so much. I was not doing it to be fun, so. I just run my mouth, man. Rob Duran for $4.99. Shout out to Fort Worth, Texas. One of the best. Taylor Sheridan is going to change the industry for the better. and out Texas on the map. Well, there are some people who think Taylor Sheridan is like trying to, what's it called? It's Yellowstoning meme. Now, I haven't seen Yellowstone. I've just seen the prequels. But I think it's more like he's in the middle. He's in the middle. The Mandalorian is disappointing. It's not our New Republic. It's Disney's New Republic. As stupid as weak as the Republic is from the prequels, and in the Disney trilogy, which doesn't count. Kane wasn't brilliant. It was the end. That was stupid, says Starkiller Obi for 100 PLNs. So I agree with you, and I want to point out that the biologist who was trying to clone Baby Yoda from the first series is back in the whole middle part of the episode, where he turns on the Empire and wants to. There's a conversion there's a program to take in old Imperial officers, so they house them in protective custody with no security anywhere. So a Moff Gideon spy could just easily pretend to be one of these. It's the little boy who was the girl boss in Ant-Man. Freaking Disney loves to find one classically diverse actor like Freckle Jesus and just put them in everything. They find their designated purse puppy and put them in everything. We're on our fifth homeless commune, and they started waging war on each other over arson and actual fights. We have hobo wars here, says Jorgen Jorgensen for 550. Begun the hobo wars have.
Where is this that you live?
Jorgensen, Canada.
Oh my God.
That's a Canadian peso, Jorgen Jorgensen. Has this wonky eyebrow for 20 British pounds for the bomb fund. Bringing her home, dude. Hope she would be better off in a better state. We're thinking of you and your family. Peace. Thanks, brother. Thank you for the 20 British pounds. Cheers. Disaster area for 4 British pounds and 99 cents. If R&B isn't on Campy anymore, would be cool if we could join you guys for Film Threat. Is he not going to be on Campy anymore?
I mean, I saw in the chat someone say that R&B isn't with Campy anymore, but I thought it was a troll. But I don't know.
Let me fact. I believe you, chat. Wow. Well, R&B is always welcome here.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime. Anytime. The Grizzly for 5. Thank you for letting me. I think he'd be really good on Film Threat. But I think R&B would be better on his own. Go indie, baby. Go indie. Quite frankly, he had that show on his back and he was carrying it. R&B, I think, is more for an adult audience. Like, I'll diss John Campy all day fucking long. Okay. I respect that he backed Robert Meyer Burnett. Don't respect how he really pushes the toxic fan narrative and just really pushes some bullshit. And I don't think the guy knows very much. But he does know one thing.
I hunted, Rob. I hunted for Tobey Maguire's dick.
Rob was the knowledge on that show. Let's just be real. Rob was the knowledge. Rob is the nerd. And I think he plays better to a slightly older audience. John Campia show plays to a younger audience. And that's okay. I get it. It's fine. And respect to the game. He's got a lot of sponsors. And good for him. That's how you build it. And he absolutely belongs on YouTube. I'm glad he's on YouTube. I hope he succeeds on YouTube. Everybody should be able to have their place here, including me and X-Ray Girl and Jeremy from Geeks and Gamers and Ryan and Az. and Mahler and the Critical Drinker. And It's a Gundam. We could go on. All the people that are on here, something like Gundam, puts out some of the best work, and he definitely has the YouTube. He's in the doghouse for some reason again. But like his work, his shit, he should be at 1 million subs right now. So all I'm saying is you could have your bad takes and we'll have our takes. Do I have to pick up the phone?
Hello. Does that mean something? I just want to make sure.
Probably needs something. She probably needs something. Could you read a couple super chats while I'm
okay, yeah, sure.
on her?
The Grizzly for oh wait, we already read that? No. The Grizzly for $5. Also, I believe Tim Pool has become a doom-pilling shill praying every night for a civil conflict to prove himself right. He has some sort of complex. Chris Z for $5. 10 episodes per season is the perfect number. The 20-plus episode seasons are such a slog. Now, I will say the only time I think that would be great, having 20-plus episodes per seasons, is anime, when it's 22 minutes, because they do a lot of storytelling, and it's hard to get that much storytelling in that short of a time. So it's nice to have that longevity across that many episodes. But that's just my thoughts on that. You good, Gary?
We're good. How are we doing here? All right, we're gonna finish up with these soups, and then I got to go pick up her drugs.
Oh, okay.
Tommy, well, because she can't drive right now. Tommy tables for 2 Canadian pesos, 2.79. Willow just got canceled, so there's hope. Yeah. Oh yeah. And I'll just tweet it out today. I mean, it's a really obvious statement, but I made it 2 weeks ago based on some stuff I heard that looked for a lot of shit to get canceled. A lot. And we're starting to see it. Dominoes are falling. Hallelujah. New Magic the Gathering Lord of the Rings card dropped. I saw it. Aragorn and Arwen. Guess how accurately they are depicted. I'm sure he's black. I saw that ring. I didn't see the Aragorn part. Astro, thank you for the $4.99. Ear Elephant for $2 sent you a great pineapple pizza song on Instagram. Oh, well, I'm sure Melissa's seen it. I will see it. Angry Yeti TV for $5. I think my Streamlabs chat didn't go through. But I want to shout out Jaloja for gifting me a membership, and my Texas Austin. And I'm in Texas. Austin is gay. It did go through. We did read it. Beach Lover for £5 But thank you again. Gary, did you watch some of the Oscar nominated movies, and what did you think of them? I watched Avatar. I watched Top Gun Maverick, and I watched Everything Everywhere All at Once, and I think it's fine that it won. Top Gun Maverick should have won Best Picture. It should have won Best Picture. Had moral cultural impact. We all know why Everything Everywhere All at Once won, but it was also like a good movie. I liked it. But not much outside of that. Oh, Wakanda Forever. That was shit. Shouldn't have been nominated for anything. Professor Hex for $5. Gary, have you heard of our Big Dumb Mouth podcast? If not, you should check it out. The host, Midnight Mike, would be an excellent guest for Forbidden Frontier show. He is a huge nerd and a conspiracy enthusiast. Ooh, sounds like the right
I'll add that to the list. Thanks.
Taker 610. Gary has 2 mommies. Should be a children's book. Mr. Butt Crack Media, thank you, Taker 610 for $5.50 Canadian. Hey, Gary, love your latest video, but got some bad news for you. My ex has stage 4 ovarian. Oh, no.
Oh, no.
Sorry.
That
I'm
sucks.
sorry to hear that, brother. I'm sorry to hear that. Oof. That is not good. Oh, well, just even though she's your ex, be as supporting as you can be. An unexpected fire for $4.99. Gary, since you have 2 moms, can you open star-shaped portals with the other universe? Yeah, starfish-shaped portals. Justin Ube for $1.99. What do you think of the latest Flash season? I watched 5 seconds of it, or 10, with Batwoman, and I thought it was absolute dog shit. I will not watch it. I started this channel, my very first podcast, way back in the day. I am praising the shit out of Arrow. My have things changed. Ian so forth for 100 British pounds. Clutch super chat. Clutch. Ian, thank you. Saw dog for like Ian. What a mensch. Hale, I'm working, but I got you guys on the background. I'll be lurking. Oh, sorry for all the fucking cussing at work. I'll try to fucking keep it down. I'm just kidding. I can do this. I can keep that down. Millie Noxus for 11 Canadian pesos. You should get V, like Julie V on Friday Night Tights. The dude has a lot of fun and some great takes. Who's V?
We might need more information.
Yeah, Julie V is a soccer player from the San Diego Sockers back in the day. Michael Emersh for 10 British pounds. Hey, Gary, have you read my Twitter DM where I recommend the Star Trek ships from Blue Bricks? Still do. Maybe use the money for it. Oh, I'll look. I can't spend any money. It's tax. Don't you love that there's a run on the banks are collapsing right before tax day? Yeah, here in America, tax day is in a month from today. Snakes and Funerals for $2. In-call and Jodorowsky and Mobius masterpiece. Yes, love the in-call. Partially an inspiration for The Fifth Element, along with Valerian. Matthew Hammond, $9.99. Have X-Ray Girl have they hit up Amanda Melius for a Wednesday nooner with Chris Gore? She said she is interested when I messaged her. Yeah. Put the name down. Let's do it. The help with the Mama Fund. Also, ever think about inviting Vic Mignogna on a FNT or a nooner? Yeah, I would. I talked to him. Hung out with him in Houston. He ate half my burger. I couldn't finish it. He's like, you gonna finish that? Well, no, you want it? Go for it. Mike S for $10. Flying Pier super sticker. Thank you very much. Ian Young for $4.99. Did Chris Gore really say, I can't believe I live in a dystopian and all I got was this Loudy T-shirt? Yes, he did. Michael Smith for $9.99. Hail Gary, I was wondering if you knew when you were going to come to Arizona. Wish you could be here for Comic-Con. You would be surprised at the guests. 2 of them are from Star Trek Discovery. Yeah, sorry I'm missing that. I'll be driving through Arizona on my way to Vegas, and I'll probably stop. I will be in Scottsdale. So we always stop in Scottsdale. So I'll be there for a day. Subtle Deviancy for $5. The Oscars live stream was so entertaining. Even Eric Weber was good. Hail Chris, Gary, and Exoday Girl, Pineapple on Pizza. You're right. Fletcher Williams for $4.99. Mom Fun. Big hugs, bro. Thank you. Peckerwood for $10. Covering John Hutchinson on the Forbidden Frontier will be good. He's a bit out there, but is an interesting character. Also, my pronouns are me, my, mine. Me, my, mine. Nathan Daniels for $4.99. Thank you for convincing me to give Picard season 3 a chance. I swore I was done with Trek after season 2, but episode 3, so glad I gave it a shot. Hail and watch RRR. I will. Since you watched Picard season 3, it's the least I can do. Kane played N rep, not N. Sorry, rep. It's filled with idiots and bureaucrats. Perfect scene is when N rep officially orders to destroy useful gear only because it was Imperial. Palpatine would outplay this N rep. I don't know what that is, but easily. Yeah. The New Republic is stupid. They're as dumb as the Mandalorians. I think everybody in Star Wars has a room temperature IQ now. Okay, I've got to go. X-Ray Girl, what you got coming up?
I'm going to be playing Conan Exiles with Az, so hop onto my YouTube channel or Rumble and find me over there.
All right, this is going to go unlisted, but you can hang on to the link, continue watching. If you're behind, you're not going to see this till the end anyway, but you could share it with a friend. Otherwise, it will be re-uploaded in a couple, 3-4 hours on Nerdrotic Live. Please subscribe to Nerdrotic Live and Nerdrotic Daily. Please watch our latest video, Top 5 MCU Failures. I will be back with more content soon. This Friday, we have Benny Johnson. And tomorrow morning, I will be reviewing Star Trek Picard on Nerdrotic Live.
Ooh.
So I got to go get my wife some drugs.
Get her all the drugs. She deserves
Get her all
it.
the drugs. You guys have a good one. Thanks to the Modrotics. Thanks to everyone who left super chat and donation. You help keep the lights on. We love you. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.